Oh, hi.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh my
gosh,
back.
it's been so long.
I wonder how many of
since
the
we've
same
last
people are
seen
here
you.
from the Q&A.
Guess we'll
I don't
find
know.
out.
1000%.
Tim.
What's
let's
up?
hijack this.
Oh,
Talk about the
shit.
Bachelor.
Jack it away, dude.
Oh my god.
Let's talk about the Bachelorette. The people
So
have
let
been
me tell you
asking.
guys
They all
what's been
died?
interesting about The Bachelor, because I know a lot of people don't care. So to try to make it interesting for you, okay? Hannah, Beast, the girl, the myth, the legend. Love her so much. My favorite season of Bachelor of all time.
I think she's
I'm very, very sad that it's
beating
about to
out
be over.
the other one that I used to like. What's her name?
There's the
Canadian one.
fourth to last episode of each season is what they call.
Jillian. She's my
So they do hometown dates where they take 4 people, take them to the men's hometown. They get to like meet the families, meet the Bachelorette, and like whatever the fuck, right? At the end of that episode, one of them goes home. The final 3 go to the next episode, which is called Fantasy Suites. Fantasy Suites, you get a fancy ass like crazy hotel or
Sweet,
whatever.
yeah.
And
Sometimes it's those
if
cool
they
overwater
choose,
bungalows.
you get to take the guy to the fantasy suite, which essentially means this is your first time to fuck on the show. So you went the whole season dating all these people. You can now fuck if you want. You don't have to, but if you want to. This is the first time ever where Hannah at the end of the hometown dates was like, I'm not sending one home. I want all 4. And it's like,
What a
good for
baller
you.
move.
Get your fuck on, girl. Horniest season I've ever goddamn seen.
Well,
Wasn't
and
she
that's
the
the
one who
weird
said
thing.
we're like her and her one dude like fucking
We'll get there.
windmill?
We'll get there.
Okay.
The
That's
weird
in the
thing, though,
suites.
is all the other seasons of The Bachelor and Bachelorette are always very like coy about what happens.
Yeah, they're just like
no one ever talks
the camera
about
will,
it.
like
The
follow him
people
in the
know.
room, and then you see him get into bed. And it's like ha, 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 ha. You hear giggles, and like you see the outside lights. This season, hell no. Hannah's like, fuck it, dude. I fuck, and I'm proud about it.
Yeah.
So she gets in, and one of the fantasy suite dates is in a windmill. Like they're staying in a windmill, and it's implied that they fuck, but like we don't know until later when the douchebag of the season. He's with her and like they're having their dinner before they even get into the fantasy suites. He starts talking. He's just like, yeah, like, you know, he's really religious and so is she, but he's crazy religious. He's like, if you were to have had sex with any of those guys, I'd leave right now, 100%. And he really thought that she didn't. And she was like, excuse me, you can't tell me what to do with my body. You can leave right fucking now. And then he tried backtracking and it was fucking awesome. And then
Good for her.
and then he was like getting in the car and she was like, I do have sex and Jesus still loves me. And it's like,
God,
fucking
it's so
get
good.
him, Hannah, get him. But then she's like, yeah, I had sex in a windmill twice. And it's like, fuck yeah. And then on last night's episode, the guy that she had sex with in the windmill ended up going home. And they were doing like this live, like final interview thing. And it was Hannah and him talking. And like towards the end of the interview, Chris Harrison, the host, was like, oh, so like the windmill, haha, let's talk about it. And they get all embarrassed because the guy's mom and dad were there. So like, it's really awkward. And she was just like Hannah was like, hey, I need to apologize. I lied a little bit about the windmill thing. Like I said that we had sex twice in it. We did it 4 times. And it's like, get him, Hannah.
Oh,
I'm
my
gonna miss
gosh.
her, man. I'm gonna miss her
She's
so much.
good. She's the best. She seems the most real. Doesn't really give any fucks
man.
about.
Well, she gives 4 fucks in a windmill. And now you can Airbnb the windmill.
Michael James, there's no slut shaming in here.
Can't fucking.
She can do what she wants.
She's fucking people in the
I'm
window.
gonna fuck Gia in that windmill one day. I swear
It's
to
on
goddamn
Airbnb.
Christ.
It's on Airbnb.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's how I'm gonna
You
fuck
can do
her. It's gonna be on the
You
up and
guys
up.
know that the windmill's on Airbnb?
I hate you so fucking much.
Yeah. Very interested to see how it all plays out tonight. Normally, tonight is just after the final rose. We haven't even seen the rose ceremony yet.
We don't know. Tonight's finale is gonna be the most dramatic ever.
I honestly do think this is the most dramatic season ever.
We'll see, man.
There was one a few back that got kind of controversial with Jake, the crazy pilot, but I don't know.
Cameron
It's been
Kennedy
a lot.
says honeymoon at the windmill. Real talk, I think we're doing our honeymoon where they do Bachelor in Paradise in Sayulita, Mexico. It's gonna be dope. It's gonna be real.
I love
dope.
that it's just Bachelor centric any way
yeah.
you go.
Gotta do it. Chloe says hi, guys.
Oh,
Hi,
hey,
Chloe.
Chloe. We've been
Chloe's coming
talking
this
about
next
you
week.
a lot. Yeah.
We've been talking a lot about you.
Yeah.
Is it all nice stuff?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, she'll have to.
Yeah, it is.
Don't
We
lie.
can- we
Don't
can-
lie to him, Kevin.
You're not here. We can talk shit about you until you get here.
That's them's the rules.
Yeah.
I have not checked out Love Island. Tim, have you checked out Love
No,
Island?
I haven't.
People keep talking about it. I see the
I only have
scuttlebutt
room
on the
for one
Twitters.
trash piece of content a week.
Oh,
You know
no,
what I mean?
I definitely don't.
And even Bachelor's like, fuck it, we're doing twice a week.
Bachelor in Paradise being twice a week
Mondays
is excessive.
and Tuesdays.
I might not actually do that.
Joey.
Or maybe
Shut up.
that's 4 hours of Bachelor.
In Paradise, though.
That's
And my
so
girl
many
Christina
hours.
Schulman's back. Can't believe it.
Yeah, I got Fire Emblem to play through though.
You can do both.
Not at the same time.
Fire Emblem is like very like story focused, so I feel like you can't like really like play that and like have something.
What you'd have to do is just like do the story stuff, get into the mission, then watch TV and play.
There you go.
Because then it is very slow and like.
What,
Yeah, just keep doing that.
This is why we
I
call
was
you-
wondering how long you were gonna just do it for.
this is why we call you the number 2 games journalist, Tim Gettys.
Number 2 games journalist, Tim Gettys, motherfucker.
Yeah. Also, Unreal all 4 seasons on Hulu, which I did not know. I've only watched seasons 1 and 2.
Unreal's a show that I've learned to appreciate over time. I didn't like it.
Really?
I did not like it.
Did
But
spoil the magic
watches
for
it
you?
and stuff.
What's Unreal?
Unreal is a drama series
Oh, I thought it was an engine.
that's based on
Ba-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. I'm Barrett and I'm funny.
Bachelorette or Bachelor. It's fake though.
The
It's like
executive
story.
producer was an executive producer on Bachelor.
So he knows how the sausage gets made.
Yes.
She does, but yeah.
Sorry, my apologies. Look at me.
But it has Shiri Appleby. Did you ever watch the old Roswell TV show? Gosh, it was
she's
so
great.
good.
I
remember the
Katherine
commercials. They used to
Heigl,
show the commercials.
The Dido song in the opening. Gosh, it's so good. She would
Demetrius says
Yeah,
definitely
so-
played Fire Emblem and watched Bachelorette this morning. See, dude, it's the
Solid.
dream combo.
No, that's my Lego Tower time.
Lego Tower time.
Because I really don't need to do anything there. Also watched The Hills reboot. It's real trash. But
Did you watch Boys?
I love it. No, I don't think that's my thing.
Gotcha.
I think it might be.
I don't know.
Joey, it's real good.
Euphoria was way more enticing.
Euphoria is your thing, 1,000,000%.
Did you like Euphoria? Did you watch it?
Me?
Yeah.
No. But Tim gave me a good pitch on it. No, I haven't watched the reboot
What was
because
Tim's
I don't
pitch?
care. That it was.
Lots of dicks and the biggest breast he'd ever seen on
It's
TV.
Degrassi on
Oh, that part.
Yeah.
HBO. But yes, hella dicks and big old titties. The giant. They're like the biggest tits I've ever seen.
And I feel like they get a lot of
And so many dicks.
Yeah, please. I feel like I came in on this conversation.
The tit signal and dick signal went out. Nick answered the call.
It's my time. This Commissioner Gordon needs me. Who got them big tetones?
In Euphoria.
Someone got big
Euphoria is
tetones.
insane. Like
I'm gonna start watching it.
You guys need to. It's just
I gotta
so
get through the boys
crazy,
first,
man.
but I think we might start watching that next.
Have you started?
Boys?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on episode 4.
We got 1 episode left tonight. I'm very excited.
Yeah. It's a little bit of a slow burn. Yeah. A little slow burn at the beginning.
Really?
Yeah, the first episode was I was like, can we get to the part where something happens?
Oh shit! I
And
felt
then-
like within 30 minutes, it's like, oh, what the fuck's happening here?
Yeah. Did you know
And
anything
also
about it?
within the first.
Yeah, I
5
read the
minutes.
first, I think, 2
Trade.
issues or 3 issues.
Yeah,
But that-
Jen sat down not knowing anything.
No, neither
So that
did.
first moment when she's like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, sorry, this is extremely violent and
Very
isn't gonna go well."
sexual.
Yeah,
Yeah, I just remember the trade starting off differently though. They started off with the crew already formed, and like they go fuck up someone in like a there's like superheroes doing drugs and like a
yeah.
like a building and partying and like
Yeah,
they kill
yeah.
someone. So I thought that would have been a better start, but I
Well, this
get
is a
it.
different one.
They're
yeah,
forming
right?
the team.
Yeah, exactly. They're
I like
doing
that
way
Jack
less.
Quaid though.
Yeah, right.
I thought he's real good.
Really?
He is really
fucking
good.
He's
He
a
is
good.
really
He's a good comedic actor. He doesn't have like he's got a different vibe than his dad.
Uh-huh.
His dad's more of a sex symbol. He's more of like a comedy guy. I like that.
Sure.
A little more Tom Hanks.
Simon
early
Pegg,
Tom Hanks.
man.
Weird that he's in
Fucking
it.
my day up.
It's weird.
Love
Like
it.
his voice is so
I'm
weird.
Simon Pegg. I'm like, oh, God, just do the British accent.
He's
We'll
American.
forgive you. We'll forgive you.
How would you explain how a British guy has an American kid? There's no way to write around that.
Literally, Cameron was in here yesterday and was like, I have 2 brothers
That's
who both
the-
have American accents.
That's different. You know what I mean? Because that's the family. Or, you know,
Arnold
it's going-
Schwarzenegger was our governor and he can't even speak English.
My tears don't cold. I'm wondering why I got out of bed at all.
Dido.
What were you
Yeah.
singing earlier that you went all in on? You sang 3 verses of it before, but Tim and I were like, stop.
There's some rap songs.
I know. Baller shot collar, right?
Is it about
Wanna be
Yeah,
shot
yeah.
collar, 20-inch blades, only Impala. Holla, getting laid tonight. Swish a roll tight, got
I didn't know that song had that many songs, like lyrics.
Kept
Getting
going.
money the flyway.
He finished the
But it's
song,
gonna
waited
be
a second, went to the
better
next track
way.
on the album.
A better way,
He's like, wow, I
better
didn't even know there
way,
was.
yeah.
Oh my God. Let's see. DJ Kendo said, "No, Dennis Quaid was capable of playing a villain, but he legit made me uncomfortable in The Intruder." I haven't seen that yet. But Dennis Quaid's actually, you forget. Dennis Quaid was a great actor. Meg Ryan, great actor. They made one child together.
That was the funniest thing about
great
Jack
actor.
Quaid in becoming internet friends with him,
Yeah,
right?
you're internet pals with him.
Is that, yeah. Well,
One day we're going to hang out with him and Jake Johnson, and it's going to be the best day of our life.
Oh, man, I can't imagine. That's a tall order. Because I've hung out with Jack in real life. But it was finding him on Sasquatch sketch, tweeting at them tweeting back, going to see them live. And it was like, oh, he's Dennis Quaid's kid. Of course, that makes sense. And it'd be like, that's a cool little thing, blah, blah. And then fucking years later, watching something or somebody tweeted at him and was talking about how, and he's like, yeah, well, my mom's Meg Ryan. And I was like, I think texted him. I'm like, your mom's Meg Ryan. He's like, yeah. I'm like, I never put that together. I'm a moron.
Who's Jack Quaid in Boys?
He's the main character. Huey.
No
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, our boy.
Yeah.
Fucking
Our
great.
boy.
Yeah,
Not just the boys.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah, he's good.
This is a win for Kind of Funny Best Friends Ever.
That's cool as fuck.
Did I ever tell you my story about Dennis Quaid from Judges Week this year?
No.
I was staying in the same hotel for Judges Week that he was staying in.
For Judges, he was there for Judges
Dennis
as well.
Quaid. Dennis Quaid, yeah.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't there for. I don't know. Well,
He's like, I really want to see that Cyberpunk game.
Remember, this is, Santa Monica or whatever. But in that hotel, he was staying there, and then when we went to breakfast, Dennis Hoffman sat next to us on their table.
Dustin Hoffman? Or Dennis
Yes.
Hopper?
No, you're right. Yeah, Dustin Hoffman. Hook was there.
Hook. Oh,
Dustin
yeah, Dustin
Hoffman.
Hoffman. Yes, sorry.
Anyways, all these celebrities. One morning, I had Porty I walked into an elevator, and Porty immediately charged another dog, but he wasn't mad. I picked him up, and it was a bulldog, and I looked up, and it was Dennis Quaid, and there was another woman there, a random person there or whatever, and she was like talking to me about Porty and him about the bulldog, and it was like all this stuff, and I was like, there was no moment for me to actually talk to Dennis Quaid, and then we got off and we just walked out. Walk the dogs in different directions, and then I was like, "Oh man, I should have said something about Jack."
You're like, I'm
and so
friends with
then,
Jack, yeah.
the next morning, I got in the elevator, and he was there with his cup of coffee and dog, and I had him in my arm, and like, "Hey man, everything happened so fast yesterday. I didn't get to say." And he had that look in his eye, like I was about to say. And I'm like, "You're Jack's dad, aren't you?" And he like lit up. He's like, "Yeah. How do you know Jack?" And I was like, "Oh, we're on the
he's my guy.
internet." Yeah. He's like,
That's cool.
awesome.
Is he insanely good looking in real
Oh,
life?
yeah, of course.
Because
You
fuck
kidding
me,
me?
he's a good looking guy. He still has a six pack. He's like 80. Can't believe he's not that old. He's like, he may be late. He probably early 60 though.
Yeah,
early
he's
60s.
old.
Jacked out of his mind.
So Nick,
Yeah.
the lighting that I'm talking about. So
Yeah.
like we look weird, but then also there's not this many shadows normally.
Yeah, there are other shadows
I feel like
everywhere.
the shadows are more noticeable because the LED light
Is
was
not
brighter and
bright,
would
yeah.
kill it before.
That thing's dimming down the walls a little bit, but
Yeah, so it's because it's not throwing its light as far. It
but you're also
now
not
there's
backlit,
more shadows.
which is annoying to me. But it's because your blonde hair it blends in with the light.
It blends in so well.
Look how dark my hair looks.
It really does look dark. Your hair looks darker than mine right now. Am I blonde, Kevin? My
See,
hair might be lighter than
I'll
yours.
agree when you look at Tim Gettys in this shot we're looking at right now. Barrett, you can be the one who's with me, right? He's got brown hair. But when you look at it right there, blonde, you see it.
I see the touches
same
of blonde.
as yours.
No.
That's gray.
No, exactly. Mine's gray.
He has a touch of gray.
But thank you for then pointing out that my hair is lighter than brown, thus making it blonde like yours. You have blonde hair.
We're all blonde.
Ladies and gentlemen, I might just be a small town hair lawyer, but I'd like to rest my case.
Wait, now are we all blonde now?
My hair is actually really light when I don't put stuff in it.
But I mean, would you ever call it blonde?
So, I mean, I went to a open mic last night to see a friend and drop a set after
Drop a
jiu-jitsu.
set.
That's what we do now. I'm at that level. I can just come and drop sets.
Drop a set.
But I had done jiu-jitsu beforehand, and I like washed my hair out in like in the sink. I forgot that I had just washed it out, so it was sticking straight up. And one of the women that was there was like, "You look like Guile from Street Fighter." I'm like, first off, that's the best compliment anyone's ever given me. And second off, am I blonde now?
I think it was more style though.
Nah, it was a style because it was like hella. For some reason, it was ridiculously windy last night.
Yeah.
Did you guys catch that?
Yeah.
It's actually pretty windy outside right now, but yeah, it blew my hair up. I looked great. I looked great.
I looked great. My hair got blown up. I looked great.
Yeah, one of the comics was like, "I want to start doing some skits." I was like, "I'll come talk to you about like what we do." But
But no.
like, I don't know. I was so bad because people were like, they want to always, "Oh, you guys do cool stuff. I want to do cool stuff." I was like, "Yeah, but we're doing cool stuff.
Yeah.
I don't have time to do all
fuck
this stuff.
off.
I'm already doing as much cool stuff as possible, and that makes me money. So
Only so much
I'm gonna do that
time.
Make
cool
money,
stuff.
money, make money, money, money.
You just fart? What happened? Oh, he's smoking a cigarette.
Ignacio says, Greg, can you please read my other question on the Q&A? It's an important announcement. No. That window's closed, and Joey has the Q&A
life is
questions.
over.
Joey's
They're
the
gone.
keeper of Q&A.
It's all gone. Now, more importantly, Chance Carter says, Greg, you get that gibble in Pokemon Go yet? Been hunting that little land shark for a hot minute. Chance Carter, I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. But I'd love to gobble on a gibble. You know what I'm saying?
I really don't.
Oh, Maran.
What I've appreciated about Pokemon Go is the amount of people now that text me or DM me before I do something to make sure I do it right. Both Lauren Blazinski and Goldfarb have reached out on separate occasions to be like, before you open the next gift from me, that's going to move us to Ultra Friends, Super Friends. Make sure you pop a lucky egg to get double XP. I'm like, thank you. This is all very, I need this kind of information.
I'm sad and shocked that the Harry Potter game hasn't picked up as well as the Pokemon Go.
Shocked, really?
No, not shocked at all.
I mean,
but I'm saddened by
Pokemon
it.
Go was like
That's been a thing for a while.
But it was like so huge, right? Like,
I remember 2 Comic-Con. I think it was like 3 Comic-Cons ago when it launched. That everyone at Comic-Con just kept bumping into each other because everywhere you guys want to walk to a party, I'd be like, cool, and I would just lose you guys for a while.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Like, hold on, I gotta stop and get this level 5 fucking Pikachu.
I need to get my Pikachu. Yeah, hey, actually, first off, by the way, good job. That was 2016. You nailed it right on the nose.
Yeah, because I remember I went this year, went last year. I skipped a year, I think. There was 1 year we didn't go.
Yeah. Anyways, did you try the Harry Potter game?
No,
because you like Harry Potter.
Oh yeah, I like Harry Potter.
Yeah.
I'm not one for the walk to the corner, catch the thing for a while. It just doesn't keep me as well as it does anyone else.
I think I think Harry Potter's done well enough for itself. You know what I mean? It's got an audience. There are people playing it. Joey's still, I think, playing it, right?
I've got another incredible time suck on my hands that's completely useless.
Jiu-jitsu.
No, well that's
comedy.
True. Yes, that also as well. No, how dare you? Yes. Never get married. It's terrible. No, that's true. No, Duolingo. Andy got me into Duolingo, and now I'm trying to learn Italian. And my wife's like, "Why are you fucking learning Italian? A, we're going to Japan this year, and B, we're in California. Learn Spanish for Christ's sake."
Yeah.
But it's not like any of it's sticking.
I did one Duolingo lesson for French when Jen and I were still dating.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, I'll do it every lunch, and then we just don't take lunches here and shit like that. And so
it's actually fun when you're in the airport. If you're like in the airport on a plane or whatever, you can offline it. It's cool.
You know, Andy? Andy Cortez, everybody.
Hey, guys.
How's your Duolingo going?
Dude, it's like working out. When
you do it for a while and then you stop doing it.
It's like working out where like, yeah, you get the streak going, you get the hot streak going, and you miss one fucking day, and then it's like 6 days in a row you haven't done. So I haven't done it in like 4 days or something. But then last night, I was about to take a shower and a little notification popped up like, hey, I haven't seen you in a while. And
Hey,
I was
you
like,
filthy fuck.
Yeah. And I was like, all right, I'll do it.
Que pasa?
I'm like, I hit a point though where I ran out of hearts. So like the way it is it's if you're doing it for free, if you don't pay the subscription, you have to like refill your hearts, and if you run out of like if you make too many mistakes,
microtransaction games, man.
It got to be a little bit burdensome. So I'm on the cusp of just like paying the fucking $6 a month just to do it because I really like it.
Yeah,
I like it too.
I say something.
I paid for the plus sim.
Pizza.
Let's see. Yeah. Io mangio la pizza. That's pretty much it.
So far, all it is like el supermercado está aquí.
Yeah,
it's just like
that's where I'm at
shit.
here. It's like, you know,
it's like I wish I could fast forward to like level 10.
Il cane mangia.
What does manja mean? Love?
Eat.
Oh,
that's what I've thought all the time about, like, or not even really thought, but like Rosetta Stone was always supposed to teach you a different way.
Yeah,
and that sounded more interesting than going back and doing like even Duolingo, where it's just like whatever, you know.
Phrases,
mon ami, you know, bibliothèque, whatever. Like, this is like the most basic bullshit you learn.
But I do like that I do like how it's categorized.
Yeah, it's cool.
I like the phrases. I like travel. I like
sure.
You know, because I would always say when I worked at Best Buy, I was like, or even at a car dealership as customer service, I was like, I am super fucking fluent in car. I am super fluent in selling shit at Best Buy, but anything else I'm not so great at because I just got so used to like
right.
You know,
you're gonna need that upgrade.
Estás completamente satisfecho con su servicio, all that bullshit. It's just like
he ordered ceviche.
He did.
Yeah.
It's fun for me. I'm not under any illusion that I'm gonna come out of this a year from now speaking Italian, but it's fun for me to go back and actually learn some of the stuff that I should have learned in college if I wasn't a lazy bastard. God, I was so fucking lazy.
What up, man? Yeah, I did come out here again.
This is Ignacio Rojas' Q&A announcement. I have an announcement to make. My college accepted my application, so I'll be spending next semester in SF at SF State.
Time to move the company. Congratulations, Ignacio.
It's crazy because next semester we're actually moving to Chile.
We're doing one semester.
One semester abroad in Chile.
I figured that was coming because he would always ask me in chat, like, where are the good movie theaters at?
Well, it's funny because in the Q&A he asked about Stonestown. To which Tim was like, that's a very specific question. And then we never referenced or saw that before. So it was just like, for some reason, he was asking about Stonestown, but we didn't actually look into it. You know, how you doing? What's wrong? You seem down. What's happening?
It's just computer shit, dude.
computer
like,
ports on it.
It was just like mid-render. Wolfenstein is going up tomorrow for Patreon, so I'm trying to like rush it. It's like kind of stressful because I have to render it and then like make the thumbnail and then the metadata and all that bullshit. And it fucking crashed during the render. And it's like, oh, God. And I was like in the middle of making a thumbnail with your and me faces on the girls' faces. And then that I was like, fuck. It's annoying, dude.
Sorry, dude.
Do you need
so
one
annoying.
computer that renders and one computer that photoshops, you think? Because that was always the problem with me is if I, like, granted, I had a shitty laptop when I was doing videos, but if I had both Premiere and Photoshop open, it fucking...
Yeah, I mean, this computer's like a monster. That's the thing. It's just sometimes it freaks out.
borks.
Yeah.
But also
if only
it's
you can do
those-
it on your PlayStation 4.
It's those edits, man. Those edits that you do.
What are you trying to
Same
put
PC
here?
suck. PC suck.
Okay, well, okay. Yeah, lingo. I think about this because I need another hobby, an extracurricular activity.
you?
Like, no,
I feel-
let me finish that statement.
sorry,
I need
sorry.
another one. Like, I need a hole in the fucking head.
Sure.
So, like, my wife is like, "You're learning Italian now?" I was like, "Yeah." And she's like,
Si.
"Are you still doing jujitsu and comedy and running a full-time
Are
business?"
you ever going to see me again?
Yeah, she doesn't care about that, but it's true. I want to do it all, but I just have there's not enough time in the week. We need an 8th day,
No.
fun day. Look it up.
Everybody look up a Sunday Fun Day. Thank you.
Why?
Because we're having some improv fun. Can you have
Keep
some
floating
improv?
back through the wall.
my chair like leans back. Just out of it.
Sunday fun day.
Red Bulls are delicious to me, too.
Sunday Fun
You know, I
Day.
watched. Have we talked about this? I watched a really good 2-part documentary on the Rolling Stone magazine.
You haven't talked
It's
about it.
actually really
Netflix?
cool. HBO.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it's a bit older. I haven't seen it pop up, so I just assume it's from a while back.
Sure.
But it's really cool. It goes through the history of basically like pop culture and politics for the last, I want to say since the 70s,
Sure.
through the lens of Rolling Stone and all the articles they've read or written rather. So
Rolling Stone, Stories from the Edge.
yeah, it was really cool.
Okay.
It's 2 parts, a little bit long, but like Cameron Crowe's in it. You know,
Okay.
he's the guy that they based Almost Famous
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
And they talk about him and how
I want to check that out. Sure.
It's
I check
pretty
that out. Yeah,
They used
so-
to like they were in San Francisco. That's where it started. I did not realize
really?
that.
I didn't know
yeah, they
that
were like
either.
3 blocks away from IGN. It's crazy.
Oh, fuck. All right.
And they were like, nothing's in Somo right now. Like they show pictures of it. It's like just warehouses. I'm
Yeah.
like, well, that changed.
That's cool. Yeah, no, I'll check that out. We're doing The Boys now. People keep asking in there if I've made any progress with My Hero Academia. I have not. Me and Barrett watched 2 episodes drunk.
That's a tough one to get into.
It was fun. It was cool.
I think I tried watching that once. I'm like, this is a little too anime for me.
But I just haven't watched anymore. Yeah, and then The Boys dropped, and then even then I'm like, this is cool, but I want to play games. So yeah,
Yeah,
but this sounds interesting.
I feel you.
But even then, 4 hours of Rolling Stone.
It's a lot. They
But I like
they
stuff.
probably could have condensed it into 2.5 hours. I would have been happier with it.
Sure.
But it's such a storied past with they have Hunter S. Thompson and all that stuff, and they go
Yeah.
into like him and how he worked for them earlier, and then kind of came out against them because he was like, y'all are just a bunch of corporate chills now. And the dichotomy of part 1 versus part 2, where Jan Wenner, the guy that started Rolling Stone, was just basically like Joan Didion reading hippie, who was anti-establishment and hyper-liberal.
Yeah.
Cut to the 80s. They moved it to New York. He's in a suit. It's a $1 million corporation that they're running this business now.
Yeah.
And he's like the anti-everything that he used to stand for. And Hunter S. Thompson is basically giving him shit. It's
Sure.
pretty awesome.
Get rid of that.
It's called Stories from the Edge. It's about Rolling Stone magazine. It's pretty cool. It's a documentary. It's on HBO, unfortunately. But 2-part HBO documentary. Really fucking cool.
Josh asked Nick and Andy, when are we getting a KFA AF shirt?
A couple weeks.
It's made. We
Several
saw it.
weeks.
You put up an image on your stories. I saw.
Several weeks, yeah. It's just one of those things where when we schedule out where merch goes out, we want to schedule it with other things that are kind of coming out around it. Instead of just, here's a shirt, and then maybe here's another shirt 2 weeks later. It's like we're kind of packaging things together. So it comes out with another thing. I can't
Refrigerator.
Really, yeah.
Kind of funny. Mini fridge.
Refrigerator, yeah.
Comes out with a KFA refrigerator magnet.
Demetrius Neal says, The Boys is damned good. Do you like it better than the comic, Greg? Great question. Gifted Dim. It's very different. Kevin and I were talking about this, right, Kev? Mm-hmm. I think it's more grounded than the comic, which is helpful. And I do like that. I think the characters inside of this are more sympathetic both ways. both the bad guys and the good guys,
Yeah.
or the boys, I guess. You know, they're not really good guys, the gray guys. I think that, so. Yeah, probably it's more well-rounded than that. It doesn't have those like over-the-top comic book stuff, right? Reading volume 1 for the comic book club, patreon.com/kindafunny right now for $1. It was very much like, wow, like I forgot how in your face early 2000s this was. It's like,
Well,
yeah, totally.
Garth Ennis, you know what I
Oh
mean?
no, I know what I'm getting. I
That's
know
a Garth
he
Ennis
is.
thing.
Yeah, but it was like picking it back up. I'm like, oh right, like here's Butcher fucking this lady over her desk. Like, oh yeah, that's I forgot about that.
I saw. I mean, I read Preacher, and I think that's what prompted me to go into like The Boys,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken. And for whatever reason, I think it was just because there
That's
was
a
no
horrible sentence.
It's fair, very fair. For whatever reason, I think this must have been like 2007. So I don't know that the digital trades were as accessible as they are now.
probably not.
So I think I only read. Someone had like the first like couple volumes. I was like, this is awesome. I should go to the comic book store and buy more. I never did.
And then you went to
I
the
never-
cigarette
It's written
store.
It's written by the same guy.
Garth Ennis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bless you.
I've seen a couple. So I've never actually read the
Bless
boys
you.
comics, but like now I've seen a bunch of breakdown videos and stuff. And one of the things that the Garth Ennis like has said is that he wanted to go more extreme than Preacher. And
Oh,
More
sure,
extreme
yeah.
than
Yeah.
Preacher.
Yeah.
Well, remember, this is the book that
Yeah.
got him thrown off. Like
Right,
they
right.
paused, they stopped publishing it, and it got picked
Right.
up by Dynamite.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's intense.
Are you guys
after the
ready to rock
hamster
and
was on
roll?
the cover. Yeah, sure.
You get a little, just a little.
Oh, sure.
You can enter the show if you want.
What's up, everybody?
hard.
Welcome to the Kind of Funny podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the producer/seducer, Nick Scarpino.
Give him a little extra bit from me because he's been stressed out today.
Well, you take the other side then, because like you get.
Oh, yeah, that left side's crazy.
Wow. The man I'm rubbing is none other than the Hispanic heartthrob Andy Cortez.
Hey guys, how's it going?
And then the man who hates to be touched, a.k.a. Forbes 30 under
is literally
30,
scooching to the right.
a.k.a. second best baby blues, a.k.a. the engaged one, at Tim
Let
Gettys.
him host.
How's everybody doing?
I'm
Good.
fantastic.
Are you fantastic? It seems like you're wired a little tight today. You're not having as much fun.
stress, computer
Tight
issues,
wires.
man. Yeah, we talked about it on the pre-show.
Yeah, exactly.
Real bad crash during a fucking render / making of a. It's the worst when you like make enough progress in during a thumbnail. Well, I was also making a thumbnail at the same time, but still like I've rendered stuff and also done Photoshop stuff at the same time. But
Don't
it
do
was
that no more.
I was like all the way through with getting Nick's face on the girl's face from Wolfenstein for the thumbnail, and then
Yeah.
it's like it's all masked out perfectly, and it fucking crashes.
What a fun
It's just
party
a-
mode that is, though. I can't wait for people
It's
to see
really
it.
fun.
I was in the room when you guys were recording this.
We know.
And when you
made
guys,
multiple
several
references
cuts
to
when you discovered the slide mechanic, I had to pretend I didn't think it was funny. It was very funny.
There's the final moment where you had already left the room by this point, but Nick's like, I don't know, Kevin, that's crazy. What about you, Tim? What do you think? And he was like, just cut to an earlier version of Tim. But I cut to him where like Tim is like on his phone and he just leaves the frame. Like, he just doesn't want to be there.
So fucking fun.
That's awesome. Yeah, that one I was in the other room for back here. I took a nap for a quick second because it went on forever, but it sounded like fun. And then yesterday, you guys doing the Ultimate Chicken Horse with Cam
my
and Chloe.
God. That was
That
fucking
sounded like
so
an
fun.
hour of nonstop fun / torture.
much fun.
When I
game.
walked in here and Nick and you were doing your wheezy laughs and Cameron Cuff's just staring at it, trying desperately to beat this fucking thing.
So Cameron admitted to us midway through, he's like, I just want you guys to know that I'm the worst kind of person to play games with because I'm hyper competitive and I get very frustrated if I don't do well. And I was like,
And
this
also,
is
I'm
gonna-
not good.
And he's like, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a great one for you
Trifecta,
then,
man.
because this game is gonzo.
Chloe
man.
Dykstra walked off set like multiple times
times.
and just put her head down on the table. It's like it was
is-
so fucking funny, man.
It is a game that the more you try to win, the more infuriating it is. You just gotta let it go and have
to.
fun.
That's why Nick
you gotta
wins.
let it go and have fun.
I think like
That's why Nick
when you
wins.
introduce that game to new people
so
and they see the sort of method behind the madness and they're like, oh my god, this is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then the frustration sets in. It's like it's like
Poetry.
you're watching, like you're watching a giraffe being born and walking for the first time. You know,
Yeah.
when they're all like,
Gooey.
Well, when we got to the farmhouse and there was like 8 levels of the hockey pucks being shotting away. It was ridiculous. My favorite thing to do is try to make it as unpassable as humanly possible.
That doesn't sound like you at all.
It's a blast. It's a blast.
If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Kind of Funny podcast each and every week. 4 best friends gather on this table, each coming to talk about their favorite party mode moments that aren't even live yet.
You'll see 'em in like
YouTube.com/Kind
3
of Funny
weeks.
games. Yeah, you know,
3
like
or
it
4
is.
weeks. who
We
knows?
talk about our lives, things that are happening, everything under the regular sun. If you like that, go to patreon.com/Kind patreon.com/kindafunny, where you can get each and every episode early. You can watch us record it live. You can get it ad-free. You can get it with the pre and post show, all exclusive just to Patreon. But if you want to talk snowbucks our way and get everything for free, we understand. Head over to youtube.com/kindafunny, roosterteeth.com, podcast services around the globe, and you can get it with ads. No pre and post show. None of the fun stuff. Just us here talking about our lives.
Yeah.
Under the sun. You know how it is, Tim?
So many ads, so many sons.
Thank you today to our Patreon producers, Mark Sarvagi. Did I get it right?
G.
Damn it! Sarvagi.
Let me check Duolingo.
Fuck
Let
me! DJ Kento, Kieran O'Donnell, Sam Davis. Today we're brought to you by Hims and Zebit, but I'll tell you about that later. For now, gentlemen, are you ready for a tired subject? Like, how much longer? Like, are we ever going to solve gun violence?
No.
We're here. This is the Kinda Funny podcast after the Gilroy Garlic Festival shooting on Sunday here in the Bay Area. Yet another. I mean, it's always crazy, right? To have anybody open their phone and be like, "Oh my God, there's been a shooting," right? But for Jen to open her phone and like, "Oh my God, there's been a shooting at the Gilroy Garlic Festival." I was like, "What?"
Like hours away from here.
Yeah.
Was there not
Random
another
ass
one today?
place.
I don't know. Was there? A Bay Area staple, the Garlic Festival, right? Something literally since I moved here in 2007, I've seen the billboards for. You hear people talk about. People make the trek out there.
The Garlic Festival, yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's
3
what-
weeks ago, there was the shooting in the movie theater I was talking about during Far From Home.
Right,
Different
right.
situation. That
Of
was
course.
gang stuff. But
Yeah. Of
still.
course. Yeah, that was here in the Bay Area as well, right? But
Yeah.
again, gang stuff
It's guns.
puts such put such a pin on it, right? Where it doesn't even fall into it. Whereas like when we were watching, I think the boys, Jen opened her phone and looked at it and was like, "Oh, there's been a shooting at the Gilroy Garlic Festival," and I found myself immediately trying to quantitate it, right? Of like, well, is it a shooting or is it a mass shooting? You know what I mean? Like that was, and like before I'd even get astonished because I'm so desensitized to all this shit.
Yeah.
What did you find out? Was there another shooting?
No, I could have sworn it was like maybe today or yesterday, but never mind.
That's just how it
I
feels.
must have misread it.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
how it
there
feels.
definitely
honestly.
was. There
Yeah.
definitely was some shooting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just become too much of a regular thing, and you always see the sort of tweets that go out of like a guy fucking try to light his shoe on fire, and ever since then, like, you know, we take off
Sure.
our shoes before every time at TSA.
Not anymore, because you know what solved that problem? $100.
Oh, sure,
Solid
yeah.
point.
You pay
Allowed us
$100,
now to
yeah.
not have to do that anymore.
Sure.
Apparently, $100 and 5 minutes with the TSA authority that just interviews you.
Well, even
means
better.
that you're never gonna fucking do
Even
anything
better,
bad
right?
on
Is
a
just
plane.
booking it with somebody who has TSA pre or global entry, booking it with somebody else.
Yeah.
None of
It
you.
is such a fucking sham.
Yeah.
Airport security is such a sham. But that's a whole different subject.
It's not really
together.
though. You know, it is. I feel
It's
like
the
it's
illusion
all,
of
But to
security.
Andy's
is what
point, that
airport security is.
so one guy tries to blow up his shoes after 9/11, boom, take your shoes off every time.
Yeah,
Yet
but
another
I-
person shoots up a fucking place, and we're all like, fuck, what are we gonna do?
I honestly believe like a lot of the stuff with the TSA though is like monetarily driven, where like you can't bring liquids in anymore.
Well, for
and it's like,
sure.
of course, you're just gonna make so much more money.
I think
off
for
that.
now, I mean, not for now. Now, for sure, yeah. I mean, like, I think there's a lot of decisions being made of obviously doing that. Once they started like privatizing it with clear and shit too, you're like, well, fuck, like,
Yeah.
And
There's
it's
like
only,
15
it's only
different
a
ways to
matter
get
of
the
time before
security.
they're super clear, something else to get more money from me to go do this.
How much
to
would
get-
you pay? Real question.
Sure. What do I pay now?
To just
120?
I think it's like, but it's only amortized
Every
over
couple
what,
of
3
years?
years, 4 years. How much would you pay to just be able to walk in and just trampoline over the security and land
Wow.
and just go?
Well, that's making it fun.
That'd be fun, right?
Yeah, that's
You know,
an
I'd be all
adventure to this
sweaty. I'd be
process.
holding Porty sometimes.
No,
He's
Porty
pain
be
in the
fine. You do, and he goes up higher. You land. You catch
I
him.
toss him on a separate trampoline next to me, and we go together. Tandem stuff.
Yeah, I
like
don't know.
that.
It's so funny. Like I think about that all the time. I'm like, this is such a fucking sham. Like, sure, you are in fact keeping people from bringing legit weapons through, and that's great. But like, everything. Well, yeah,
Well,
I mean,
that's the time
they-
everybody's always like,
I have no doubt they would catch someone bringing in a handgun, like,
Sure.
or a big knife, something that would actually legitimately like be something you could disrupt an airplane with.
But
That
I
have no
feel
threat.
like we could, if we wanted to, we could sneak weapons like blades and shit in
Well,
there.
he brings
so
Porty all the
easy.
time.
I've,
Porty's got lots of orifice.
I've sneaked my Leatherman in by accident multiple times.
And that's the thing. You hear these stories all the time. If somebody not snuck, but like forgot about a gun.
Accidentally brought
I've
it
definitely
through.
seen that headline that
Yeah.
somebody forgot about a gun and got it through. Like, oh fuck.
Yeah, I don't
I've
know.
purposely done it a couple times where it's just like, oh
Just to
shit,
see?
I have my Leatherman on me.
Stick
I
a
didn't
dynamite.
Put it, I didn't put it in my like checked bag. It's like, well, I'll stick it with the camera bag.
I'm not gonna
then
throw
never
this away
notice.
unless I have to.
Which
Camera
I've
bag.
had to do before.
Sure.
I've had to throw away a Leatherman.
Yeah.
It's
The one thing that I do love about the TSA pre is that I still just don't, and I know this is just me being superhero paranoid, but I just don't understand why people allow that dick scanner thing to be a thing. Like, what is it?
Because it doesn't dig.
The backscatter machine?
When we stand
the
in it,
backscatter
and it looks.
machine.
But what is it eradicating us
It's
with?
definitely finding my hands
Or
and
irradiating
ankles
us
every
with
single
hands.
time.
Yeah.
But like, what is it doing?
It's looking for
we know?
anomalies on your little lumpy
Nobody
blonde
even
and
asks.
yellow.
Everyone just goes, I'm gonna go through the thing.
No, I think it's a density thing.
Well, do you
where
want to
it's-
fucking fly or do you not want to
It's a
fucking fly?
density thing?
Yeah, it's checking to see if there's
How is
any
it-
abnormalities.
That's why
in
Nick.
the
That's why Nick
density.
calls it the dick scan. He got
What
that density.
particle? What particle
always
is it
lit up.
bombarding your body with that it can check for density?
I mean, I'm sure it's something harmless.
Wi-Fi.
Is it harmless?
Yeah, it's just something where it's like, oh, there's something in that pocket that doesn't feel like the rest of the body.
I don't know.
So what about my hands?
Look at your fucking hands.
Oh, you get hands all the time. You just look like the kind of guy that's sneaking through some sort of explosive device.
In my hands?
Yeah, your hands, bro. They gotta check your hands.
Anyway, gun violence bad.
Yeah.
Very bad.
Gun violence bad. Let's stop shooting people. But yeah, the hands thing.
Sorry to say, I sort of hijacked this.
Gun violence went to TSA issues, but yeah, they always get me with the facial wipes. When I use my facial wipes before a plane, it always like
Oh.
whenever I use it, they always go through and like, oh, we gotta like do the wipe down thing or whatever.
Yeah.
It's
Man,
like,
there must be a chemical in it
Yeah.
that registers on your
That's
gear.
right, yeah,
That's
that's what I
crazy.
C4.
Yes, it's like it's weird that you wipe
They're
your
nuking your
you're wiping your
pores.
face. You're wiping your face with dynamite.
I mean, I feel like the gun violence stuff and the TSA stuff is like more intrinsically related than different.
Well, it's all security stuff,
It's all
right?
security stuff, and it's all just like people finding ways to make money and like control people's feelings
Sure.
of fear. It's controlling fear to make money off.
That's why I always like
Others.
I'll say this, and we talk a lot of shit about airlines and TSA people, but I do want to give shout outs where shout outs are due. Like when I fly through Ontario, I have never met a nicer group of security guards. People who actually want to help you. There was a guy that's like helped me. He grabbed me a bin. And he was like, "Oh, you could do this, do that. Oh, your TSA. Here's a card. Do me, come on through." I was like, "Why can't it always be like that? Why is everyone like we're making this like this police state where every single person who's in a position where they have to like check anything has to be this hardened fucking badass?" And it's like, I don't want to live like that, man. I don't want to go through the TSA where they're looking at me like,
I
That's
got a lot of
everyone, though.
TSA nice guys now and gals.
"Do you?"
Yeah, I for as much as I travel, I would say it's more rare that the majority of people you're going to get, I feel, are the just dead to the world. I've been here since 5:30 in the morning. I'm looking at your stuff, doing it.
Fair.
But I'll definitely get people who are giving little songs and dances while they do stuff and move things around.
No, that I can do.
I
That.
don't
No,
want
you
to
want
sing
want
dance.
that. I want.
I'd
I'd say
Hey,
like
you got
one out of
your
every
bag,
8
your bag.
people are like the sort of police state, the fucking like, no. Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? Put that like where they like
Yeah,
scold
yeah.
you. It's like, what the fuck, bro? I'm just chilling,
Yeah,
man.
I don't like that.
Some of my worst
But shout out to
examples of
Ontario.
that were London and when we went to Vancouver. So these motherfuckers, y'all need to calm the hell down. You're being a little too much right now.
Well, Canada just doesn't like us. Like you're American.
We took one of
Don't
them.
come in here.
Yeah.
We took one of their best.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Never giving it back.
No, never.
Clear is the thing that to me totally worth it. They're the nicest
100%.
people in the world.
Oh, sure.
Like I've never had a single issue with Clear.
Yeah,
people.
but then you got to do the thing that I would be so embarrassed where they walk you
I
in
love
front of
it.
other people. I'm like, oh no.
you'd be embarrassed by that.
You
I'm
know
like,
how
get
I
out of my
can't-
way,
you know, I would
Executive
feel like
Platinum
I'm
United
cutting-
guy in his suit. I'm going right through in my T-shirt.
I would feel like I'm cutting the line, and you know I can't do that. You know
It's
that
a
I can't cut
nonsense
lines.
and it's all make.
It's all bullshit. I know. I
Yeah.
know.
You paid for it though, man.
Clear?
Yeah.
No, I don't have
No,
clear. I have TSA. But
got
man,
it.
when I use that TSA, God, I feel special. I feel so superior.
Jen
to
gets very
everyone.
mad at me at the airports now because we're like, if the clear line's there, I'm going into the clear line. And multiple times now at SFO, it's happened where there is no one in TSA pre-check.
Doesn't matter.
And I'm like, I'm going
Principle.
to clear. And Jen's like, I'm going to TSA pre without you. I'm like, fine, do it.
Yeah,
I go over there,
I
get my
dare
stamp. I'm
you.
like, I gave
fucking
these
dare you.
strangers my fingerprints, and I want to get walked
I
through.
want every single
I
time.
gave these strangers my
Them to
fingerprints.
look at my
I'm here.
fingerprints.
I'm giving up all
This
my
random
liberty.
person was like, "Would you like to save 5 minutes? Here's all my information. Here is everything."
Clear's
you
the
need."
best, but it literally is 90% of the time. It doesn't help or really do anything. And then there's the 10% where the line's out the fucking door and you're like, this is such, thank God.
Thank
Thank God I got this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to do my thumbprint yesterday for something, and it just, God, thumbprints are one of those things that just blow my mind.
Well, I
Like, how
fucked
are
up.
they all different?
I have a
You know
fuck-
what I mean?
Honestly, it's a great question.
Surely there's an anomaly.
Yeah,
like
somebody's gotta be
somewhere.
matched up.
Aside from like, oh no, even twins. Never mind.
No, they're
Twins
different.
also got the different ones, right?
But
what
it's
is
like
it?
that thing of like, who's keeping track?
That's the thing.
At some point,
It's like all
Jesus
this
has
shit
got to
blows
be
my
like,
mind.
fuck, have I done this before? Have I done a lefty Louie here before on this one?
I had a soup to loop here.
Put a
I
little
hate it
cat
'cause
paw.
no matter what happens, my thumb it takes forever to scan, and they're like, flatten it out. And I'm pushing so hard, they're like, flatten it out. I'm like, I can't flatten it out anymore. And then I'm stressing out because it's customs, and I'm like, don't lose your cool, because this is real. This is a real situation.
Oh, man,
this is not like you're at a Starbucks. You just go to another Starbucks.
Was it a Minority
This is
Report?
Canada.
Minority Report where he burns his fingerprints off.
No, that's
That was
Men in Black.
I think Minority Report.
Minority Report, I think he did it too. Yeah,
Okay, was it Will Smith or Tom Cruise?
it was Tom Cruise.
Fuck
My
yeah.
Black.
Black.
No, it was the same way when we flew into Canada this last time to Montreal. We brought Porty, so it's automatic side room. You know what I mean? And the first time I ever did the side room, my best friend was the agent. It was awesome. And he was like, go through. I'm like, yeah. So this time I walked over. And the guy's going through, and he doesn't know who I am. He's not the kind of funny best friend. Couldn't be that lucky again.
Yeah.
Years apart or whatever. But he's totally chilling. Like, all right, cool. And then like we have the dog or whatever. And then like a dude who's like floating, right, turns around. And he's like, oh, you got a dog? Did you bring any dog food? I'm like, yeah, I brought dog food. And did you declare the dog food? I'm like, no, I mean the dog. No, like it's sealed. It's a can of dog food. Yeah, did you declare? I don't know. Let me check him. You know what I mean? Like,
Amazing. You'd be like, Porty?
on the ground, sir. On the ground, Porty.
Where'd you get a gun from?
Porty's got two, and he stands up on his back.
He's dual wielding.
With code 33 and code 33.
It's like happened once before.
And it was a bulldog that time.
He was so slow. Christ.
No one would expect the wiener dog.
God.
Nobody would. Nobody would.
That'd be the perfect crime. Perfect crime.
But that's the thing. At least, I feel like for the most part. Well, I don't even know. Do you think? So did the TSA and the metal detectors and the fear stuff? Is that what knocked down maybe some of the terrorism on planes? Or is it just that the terrorists figured out we got them once with the planes, we're going to move to something else now?
No, I think the NSA reading everyone's emails and listening to every single conversation
Sure.
has probably had something to do with that.
Sure.
And they're still doing that. So
Okay.
that's probably like a more efficient means
It's just,
of
I was thinking about it the other day. Jen and I-
catching people.
Jen and
Just
I were
listening to
talking
everything.
about this, and actually, what it was, I was talking about it got to security or whatever, and box cutters and that 9/11 and all that stuff. And I was like, well, it's just a thing too of like.
Oil.
9/11, of course, changed everything. We've talked about this,
Yeah.
but it also changed the game. Where I feel like every other terrorist must have been like, "Fuck, they fucked this up. Now we can't use planes anymore." Because in the old days, it was.
They
Hey,
would take over
we've
planes.
taken the plane and we're going somewhere. We're gonna land, and then they're gonna give us and free this guy, and you're all gonna go home. And everybody's like, "All right, cool." Keep reading their in-flight
But
magazine.
how many times has that happened?
You were old, right? That happened a bunch.
It's happened
yeah.
a lot.
But
yeah.
like when
I don't
when
think
we
it
say a
happened in
bunch,
America a bunch.
Like, yeah.
I mean,
Didn't
dozens.
they land in Cuba all the time?
Yeah, that was the thing,
I think it
right?
happens in the movies a lot too.
I remember
You
it
ever see the
happening. I
beginning of
remember
SWAT? Remember how they have to go take the plane? It's because that's what happens.
Black
Train
Hawk
for that
Down.
shit. But yeah,
Black Hawk Down, yeah.
It's a good one.
But that was that thing of like, yeah, like I don't know. I feel like these other terrorists, they must have been like, oh man, now we can't do this anymore because we all know everybody's just gonna fight.
planes.
They're just gonna
looking
fight
at
us
it,
no matter
like,
what.
They're like, what do we got left? Trains, buses. I don't like these
Fuck,
options.
yeah, they're bad.
I don't like these
Nah,
options.
Yeah.
Planes, trains, automobiles.
There you go. That's what you gotta do. You know what I mean?
That's
But don't a
wild.
lot of people do that.
Planes, trains, and automobiles?
Well,
Oh,
the
yeah.
the trains and buses.
Oh, yeah. They'll take all.
The honking is on our end.
Are they doing a lot of trains these days? A lot of train terrorism?
There's like, didn't
that happen? Wasn't it in
didn't they just
London?
bomb a
Yeah,
subway station in London?
Well, yes. Oh, that wasn't super recent though. I'm saying a lot of that. That's like a
Yeah, like
that's a main thing?
one every like couple years is a lot.
If we're
That's
gonna,
a lot.
say that there's a lot of plane terrorism, I think there's a lot of train terrorism as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the bombing stuff is that's really scary. That's just scary. But
Yeah.
as is the shooting.
Dude, I always like, just because of how paranoid I am, like I always get scared of just like, we're in such a liberal city that I get worried that like something's going to happen here all the time. Like when I'm walking down the streets,
We're
like
targets.
my mind is always just like, just fucking, keep your senses 360, you know what I mean? Like, cause at any moment something, but I'm just like always ultra paranoid anyway. But
Yeah, I mean that's city living in general. Like it behooves you to kind of have situational awareness.
But
to a
I also
degree.
just think just because of like how liberal the city is,
You
like,
think it makes you a target for like people who are
for people
a
who are
little
like
bit
bigots
mentally
or whatever.
unstable and want to just come shoot some stuff up.
Yeah.
That's possible. I think about that too. I think about that when I go to like large sporting events and things like that. I'm like,
Sure. Oh my God,
this
same
is
here.
really scary. And the people that did the security like don't seem to me to be the
Top of their
best
game.
at their job. Yeah, I don't know, but nothing's ever happened. That's the sad thing. When stuff like this happens, it makes everyone paranoid.
And again, it totally makes you understand why, kids who have gone through school shootings are terrified of another one, because it's like it can happen, and it's just you feel for them. You feel for the fear that they they go through. You know,
it's not even that. I think as much as the kids who, in general, right? Like I don't know. It feels, and it's just obviously because of getting married to Jen, bringing. We talked about this, right? Would you ever leave the United States? Game Over, Greggy show. Marrying a foreigner, bringing her here. The first mass shooting happens, and she's like really taking it hard. I'm like, why? And it's like, that isn't a thing where she's from, and they didn't run Schedule E school shooting drills, and like having that conversation. Because when was the last time I had to explain to anybody doing an emergency school shooter drill, right? Because my generation, I assume Tim's generation as well, grew up with it happening. Were you in school when Columbine happened? No.
I mean, I was, but we didn't do that. We did earthquake stuff.
We just had fire drills.
Oh, so did you ever do Schedule E stuff or anything like that? No?
We
call it Schedule E. Everybody else calls
I
it
just feel
different.
like the areas you're in, you teach the people the things that they need to be scared about.
Sure, but I mean, like now, I feel like it's way more spread that more people are getting taught it, right? It feels like. I mean, we're not paying attention to kids.
I've been in high school.
I think.
But I'm talking about like fucking kindergartners. Like that was the thing of somebody in our sphere tweeting about like how heartbreaking it was to have his kindergartner come home and hit them talk about the drill they went through today in case this happens. Yeah. And like that's a real fear for them now, right? And like it's that same thing of the parents can't say that it's not going to happen because you don't know if it's going to happen, and they have to be trained and understand how to do it. And blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. That that was that's crazy.
I mean,
to think about that.
After Columbine, like that was a normal thing. I remember our school.
So you did get it because
yeah.
or Tim saying he didn't.
No,
okay.
yeah, we definitely got it. Where they would.
So just like they were like at Tim's smart guy school, they were like, no, nobody's gonna come.
No,
in.
They would walk around and lock all the doors, and like it was like a 15-minute ordeal, and it was,
Simulations.
Yeah.
Of like, all right, we're gonna pretend someone walked on the premises, and this is how we handle it. So I just. That was normal after that.
Right, and that's the thing of how it normalized. And I know we've talked about it before again with the would you leave the country.
I think it's a lot of PTA stuff, I think it's a lot of people getting together and just being like, oh man, we need to protect our kids, and then there's the whole hullabaloo, and then they start teaching that stuff. It's like in Big Little Lies.
Yeah.
About those otters.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do. I remember the season of Big Little Lies. Well.
I've seen approximately 5 minutes of Big Little Lies, and it was the last 5 minutes of the last episode of season 2.
Interesting place to jump in.
Choice.
Interesting place to jump in. Okay.
See how this wrapped up? Great.
You should still watch it.
The worst place to
Really
jump
good
in.
performance.
Nah, I don't care.
All right, fine. Fuck you.
Somebody died.
Now, Kevin, you almost went to this garlic festival?
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So originally Paula was gonna work on Sunday, and midday Friday she hit me up and was like, "Oh hey, like I'm not going to work like tomorrow, and I'm leaving early today." So we hung out with Alexis, and after that I wanted to do something special on Sunday. So it was like, I was starting to like formulate a plan where we go to San Jose, do some shopping, then hit the garlic festival, because I don't know that I've ever been to it.
Yeah.
And I just thought it'd be fun, but we ended up last minute deciding we weren't going to go to the breakfast spot that we were thinking. Instead, we just went to Lucho's, our normal breakfast spot over here. And then it was like, it's too late to make this whole plan. So instead, we went to like Stanford Shopping Center.
Yeah.
And it was really weird to see that on the news and be like, we were almost like gonna go there.
I didn't read the story. So what was the actual? What were the details of the story?
I got it for you.
Oh, okay.
Come on, I come prepared if I'm going to bring a topic to the table. I'm reading from the LA Times, right? Amid the screams, flying bullets, and bloodshed that erupted on a warm summer evening at the Gilroy Garlic Festival on Sunday, someone shouted a pivotal question at the gunman. Why are you doing this? Quote, because I'm really angry, the gunman replied, according to Jack Van Breen, who spoke with reporters after performing at the festival with his band Tin Man. The famed festival was winding down when authorities alleged that Legan, I'm sorry, and let's go to the top here, Santino William Legan, 19 of Gilroy, he's the shooter here, killed 3 people, leaving 15 hurt. It's still one of those things that people are still trying to, he was killed. Shout out to the cops there or whatever, I guess he was taken out within like the first minute of doing this, according to this. The LA Times reports including possible links to white supremacist movement in terms of motivation, but they're still trying to get to that. Back to this, sorry. The famed festival is winding down when authorities allege that Legan crept past a creek and cut through a fence, bypassing entrance security while armed with an AK-47 style rifle. Then the article goes on, talks about how it looks like he got it off this weapon banned in California, but he was able to get it from Nevada. The Nevada gun shop, Big Mike's Gun and Ammo, said in a Facebook post Monday that the buyer ordered the gun online. Quote, when I did see him, he was acting happy and showed no reasons for concern, the seller wrote, adding that he was heartbroken over the attack. Quote, I would never ever sell any firearm to anyone who acted wrong or looks associated with any bad group like white power. Everyone is my brother and sister, and I am mourning for the families, end quote. I would never sell a firearm to anyone who acted wrong or looks associated with a bad group like White Power.
Great.
It's
good to know that we have this, this judge, jury,
Thanks, Big Mike. Thanks, Big Mike in Nevada, looking out for everybody.
Everyone out there, if you got a swastika tattoo, just wear a long sleeve sweater.
Exactly,
How about
and a
that?
hat.
Jesus
Just wear a nice hat
Christ.
and come in with a sunny disposition. You'll be all right.
Like the truth about this is that anyone can go and buy a gun. And
Yeah.
it's like, you know,
100%.
the fact is, like, the people don't care what you look like,
Nope.
and they will sell you a gun if you have the money.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then you can take that gun over state borders, and
Right.
then you have that gun wherever you want it to be.
Well,
Like, what else is Big Mike going to say? Like, I thought this guy looked shifty. No,
Money, the check cleared.
it's on you now, Big
Yeah,
Mike.
the check cleared. I'm good.
Yeah.
I mean, Christchurch happened, and New Zealand acted on it, and they, you know, I guess the ban was all automatic weapons or whatever, assault rifles.
Assault weapons.
And it's just, you know, again, fucking Sandy Hook happened, dude. Like, that was what, 7 years ago? How long was Sandy
Sandy
Hook?
Hook? Not that long ago, was it?
I want to say,
I look at it.
4 years
goes-
ago?
I'm going to say 2012.
2012.
Oh, Jesus.
I just feel like it was, you know,
Time
if
flies.
Sandy Hook happened,
Yeah, if we're that was somebody put on Twitter as well from
That was 2012.
2012,
Nailed
yeah.
it was the conversation, right? That I thought eventually something would motivate America to act on this, but if their kids are being killed,
Yeah.
right, then no, nothing's gonna change.
And it's just, it's money, man. It's fucking money. It's the
It's
government.
the power of the
it's-
NRA. They have a huge lobby.
It's the fear mongering. It's the same shit, man.
It's that. I
It's
mean,
making
it is-
people believe
it's-
they need these things. You don't need these things.
Yeah. It's tough. I mean,
And like, you know, I have relatives who, you know, shoot, you know, for recreation. You know, they go out and they
I
go
know
to
plenty of
shooting range.
law-abiding people with
Yeah,
guns.
totally. But it's just like the assault rifle is just such an unnecessary thing, dude. You're not. Why do you want to fucking play soldier? Like, just go to an actual shooting range where the stuff is provided for you if you want. Get a fucking handgun if you want to go shoot targets out by the creek if you want to shoot bottles or whatever the fuck. But like, come on, man, this shit is not necessary, dude. Like, it's
military-grade
just
weapon
it's
to come
so
in.
unnecessary, dude.
Yeah, I've said it before on this show, and like I know people disagree, and I truthfully don't care. It's like ban them. These things shouldn't exist. If you have them, they should be taken away. That might upset people. Cool, great. That would solve a lot of this issue. Is it going to solve all of it? No. People are going to have things that they're not supposed to have.
Yeah.
But this shit's causing issues, and the whole recreation and all that stuff. Find a new hobby, man. Like you having this hobby is not worth.
So you say
the
ban
potential.
all guns all the time.
That's my personal belief.
Sure.
People can disagree all that they want, but I believe that that'll make a lot of this stuff happen a lot less.
Yeah.
And I think that is worth giving up the liberties that you were saying are worth all of that, because I disagree with you.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, the Vegas shooting, another, you know, big
Now we forced to
example
act.
of
Yeah.
another big example of like the biggest shooting since when ever was it ever?
It was like what, Kevin? 57, something like
Yeah,
that.
57 were killed,
57.
200 something were injured or something like that.
Yeah.
And that's
in Chris Rock's stand-up special, like he made a whole joke. He's like, yeah, if he had a knife, the guy wouldn't have got far.
yeah,
You know,
I don't
it's
know.
like it's having access to these things that allow you to,
that is one
to
of the
do
best
this on
jokes
this,
he's ever
on this
written.
level. It's like even then, yeah, taking it back to handgun. If you want to meet in the middle, which whatever, it's like cool. Even that's going to be less than 57 people. You know,
Sure.
but it's
Would
like
you ban cars then? Like, I fucking hate all that.
it's not a real argument, man. You know, it's not. Like that's
Yeah,
totally not.
like you know, those
there's
things
there's
are
one
used
purpose for
reasons.
guns.
Yeah.
There's many purposes for cars. And a purpose for a car should not be killing anybody.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's actually one purpose for a car, and it's not killing people.
Yeah.
It's for getting people
Or making
safely
out in
from
the
one
back
place
seat.
to another.
Oh,
You know what I
Wow, hand job in the front seat. Well, you're
Damn,
Wow,
front
fuck.
seat.
Why are we making
At
it
the same time?
Orgies, apparently.
Big car.
Yeah,
loungy seats? You know. Yeah.
yeah. I'm definitely not up enough on gun laws and how hard it is to get a gun, but it seems like it's fairly easy.
Yeah.
and that's my only thing is like a lot of the access to these things. It just seems ridiculously easy to get a gun. And I'm not
Let's go to
opposed to
Walmart.
people owning guns. I'm not opposed to people going through courses and having to do safety courses and it being an ordeal to get a gun like it is. You know, at least you have to go through driving school to get a car, to get a license. It doesn't preclude you from driving without a license, of course. But if you want to do it the legal way, you have to do a few courses and pass a test, and a lot of that stuff has to happen. And I think it should be harder to get a gun than it does to drive a car. I think it should. I mean, I think most people who want guns would be willing to do that. I don't see why they wouldn't. Right? If you want to get an assault rifle, and I were to tell you, hey man, you got to go through a 4-week course to be able to do this, and part of that course is an evaluation of like your mental stability. And if I wouldn't mind that. I'd be like, cool, I want an assault rifle. I'll go through that. That makes sense. That's my way of proving to everyone around me that I'm responsible enough to own this thing.
I did the test to be able to drive my car, and I drive my car, and I drive my car well enough that I think I'm safe for the people in my car. And
You
the
drive your
people
car
around
very
me.
slowly, and it's great.
It's safe. It's
I
very
respect
legal,
that.
not too slow.
There's other people in this room that want to launch us into space when they drive.
The thing is, if it were a gun, I could do the test. I can do all that stuff. Even if I passed all those tests, which I think I'd be able to do, I still wouldn't trust myself with a gun. That doesn't mean that I know how to use that thing. And in the case of like, oh, I'm trying to protect my house. You know how trigger happy I would be? Like, you guys have seen me play horror games. If something fucking pops up, that motherfucker's getting popped, or I'll miss. Either way, I'm gonna shoot that thing, right?
Yeah.
It's like I just don't feel like the majority of people that make the argument of like it's to protect my family. You're not going to be able to protect your family if the person that's trying to harm you has a plan to harm you. Like you having a gun, I doubt you're going to be able to use it. Sure, there's exceptions to that, but there's also exceptions the other way. And I feel like all that shit's dangerous. And we can see the stats on that. You see how many people make mistakes because there's a gun in the house.
There is.
Based on break-ins or whatever, what they thought was a break-in. It's not a break-in.
Or even
People
then,
getting
just
shot.
kids accidentally get into their dad's cabinet and suddenly child is dead. You know, like that happens way more frequently than it should.
Yeah. My thing is I'm not anti-gun. I've been shooting. I think I like the sport of shooting a gun is enjoyable to me. So I'm not going to sit here and say that you have to ban everything because I personally don't feel that harshly about it. But something has to be done because the fact that people can just walk in can cross the state line with an AK-47 and start shooting into a crowd is pretty deplorable. So there's got to be a solution to that, you know?
Yeah.
But every time it gets brought up, the topic dies down until the next shooting, and then it dies down.
We've talked about
and
that
the
in the
next
show,
shooting,
right?
and it's just
That's
rinse.
You've heard us do
one
this
of the
topic
issues.
a million times
Yeah.
on the show as a fan because every 6 months something comes up.
Yeah.
And I just think that meet in the middle, that's not the answer.
I'm kind of with you.
The hardest thing is that I just don't know what the answer is. You know what I mean? And like, because I think in previous topics of this, I've talked about, well, sure, I think assault rifles should be banned, obviously. I don't. Why the fuck do you need that? No one's worried about an elephant coming in their house. And then it's the idea that like, okay, like people won't give up that ground on that front, right? So then it comes down to, oh, okay, and then I know plenty of people who have conceal and carry things, have it for production, have it whatever. None of them have had to use it, knock on wood, in that situation. And then so then is the answer like I don't know. And we exist in a shitty. I think one of the shittiest times in America of extremes where there isn't a middle area anymore, right? There is red or blue. There is right or left. There is conservative. There is liberal. And so I don't know. Nothing works. But it's not even that nothing works, right? It's not even that we can sit here and say nothing works to stop gun violence because we can't do anything. The only thing that anybody's making work right now is nothing happening. Where there isn't even incremental steps to making happen. Where it is people thoughts and praying, right? And then moving on to the next thing and getting distracted by the president's next shit show he's going to get involved in. Mm-hmm. And so it's just that thing of like, it sucks to be here and lose more faith every day in the country and who's running it and how it's going, right? And feel like nothing's getting better and there is no way to fix it. And that's the thing of like, you talk about being worn down, right? And like, just being in a fucking weird spot with this. Cause like, it's, for this personally, again, like, I don't mean to keep harping back or like point to it, but in terms of thinking about it, like, Jen being here and seeing her reactions to all this and having conversations and having to talk about it, like, it's so demoralizing to me as somebody who was proud to be American, right? That, oh man, I guess, yeah, you're right. What we accept as normal isn't normal. And it's the other thing. And it's like, again, to the topic of would you leave the country, right? Like, I think I will one day probably, right? Oh, kind of funny's done and we want to retire or whatever and go being closer to Jen's family or something like that. But it's also the fact of like, when we start thinking about having kids, right? I had a nightmare the other day that it was, we hadn't had kids, but Jen was in a mall when there was an active shooter and it became a hostage situation. I wasn't in the mall and I was outside. And it was that fucking thing of like, I brought her into this. You know what I mean? Like, I brought her here. This is why she's in this situation. And that's not to say bad things don't happen in Canada. That's not to say
that's the thing. It's like, I just feel like it's different things in different places and there's always going to be issues. And there's the bombings that we were just talking about. It's like, it's not like it's a unique thing. It's just when we look at Australia,
we hear about it the most.
Our
we
gun
look at
violence
Australia and
statistics
they
are way
solved the
worse here.
problem by getting rid of the guns.
New Zealand.
Right? New Zealand. And it's just like, but even Australia, right? Like they changed their stuff too.
I'm not up in it. Kevin, can you give a Google?
Katie Ward a long time ago.
Oh.
But yeah, it's like the gun violence stuff doesn't happen in Australia because it's not allowed.
Guns have been banned in Australia for a long time, but it was the Chrysler shooting that made New Zealand
Gotcha. Yeah.
banned.
What I'm saying is they're banned. So cool.
Yeah.
Then we don't have the problem. We have the problem because they're not banned.
Shockingly, there's way fewer, issues that happen. Like, it's just, it makes sense. It works. And I just think we're too lazy to try to solve it, and people's pockets are being filled. And that's like the bottom line. It sucks, but that's it, Until we vote these fucks out, That's what we got to do, Kev. Got to vote them out, Kev.
So you gotta vote, man.
Got to fucking vote, bro.
Yeah, I mean, to me, but it does really boil down to apathy, right? Like the people talk about it for approximately a day and a half, and then it goes away because you have other shit. You
Well,
gotta
that was
worry
the thing.
about.
I was shocked about the fact that I hadn't heard more about this.
Yeah.
Today I had to
People are-
Google around to figure out, wait, why did this guy do this? Because yesterday we were already on to something else.
Was it just one dude? Because I remember when it happened, and even on Monday they were talking that it might have been 2 people, and they were looking for a second suspect.
Most recent thing I saw from LA Times was saying one person.
And they have that Instagram post about being a white supremacist or whatever.
Yeah,
reading
some weird book that was written under a pen name. Anyway, they went into it. I trimmed down the article for what we were talking about pertinent here. You know what I mean?
But it's like there's a pattern. There's clear problems happening, and those problems need to be addressed, and there's a way to address them. And it seems like half America wants to and half doesn't. And I think that it's pretty clear how that falls.
You look at how the states break down in this one. Clearly, California's on one side and Arizona's on the other.
I mean,
That's just the way how it
that's
goes.
honestly, like
I
that's
think-
the way
And
this
that's
is
where
going.
it gets interesting when you start thinking about the future of the country, right? And the fact that we are so big and we are so spread out, and it feels more than ever pulling in 2 different directions on state by state, issue by issue, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Of like, so when does it become like, not that California secedes from the union, right? But like you start
coast.
you putting up like fucking borders, like for real, like border checkpoints on the states, right? Of like, all right, cool, I want to live in California because of X, Y, and Z, but clearly, even though that gun's banned here, right? He went and bought it in another thing, put it in his trunk, and drove over here. Nobody's checking you trunk by trunk, right? Like, is that the future of the states and like making it into a way that actually makes sense?
I don't think so
the
because
future
of the economy of how the states work together and all of that. It's just I feel like there needs to be people need to really think about what choices they're making and why they think the things that they do, and need to be more aware of the media and the messages they're getting from the media and where that's coming from and how it's being delivered and why it's being delivered. It's controlling fear of people. All of this comes down to fear and money. And if you can control people and convince them to be scared of something and scared of a group, they're gonna pay out the ass to protect themselves.
Yeah.
All these, yeah. It absolutely, that's absolutely true. All the gangsters and drug dealers coming from Mexico, and they're just stuck in cages now. Like the whole caravan that was coming, that just kind of got stopped talking about because nothing fucking happened, and now it's just a bunch of animals in cages now. Apparently,
No, didn't also Mexico close their borders down the south? So like that stopped those caravans coming through them.
no, but the caravans are being talked about by Trump as if it was an ongoing issue. And then he stopped talking
But
about
I
that.
think it was an ongoing issue for a little while. Like there were mass groups of many people coming through at the same time. And then one of the things that Mexico did was they've now closed their borders and made it less accessible.
But it's the way you're talking about.
Yeah,
people.
it's the caravans
massive
of
people. It's not
mothers,
masses of gangsters.
It's mothers and kids. Yeah, but the way it was talked about is like this giant roving army is coming for America, and it just wasn't true. But that shit doesn't get talked about. It sucks. Right, Cool G?
I hate that shit.
Hate that. Cool G hates that shit.
He does hate
Cool
that
G
shit.
hates inequality. We all know that. We've known that for a while. Yeah, I don't know. It's the normal topic of bringing it up and talking about it, but like
Yeah.
just being like, I don't know. I'm like, so you know what I mean?
I mean, honestly, and I've said this before on the Kind of Funny podcast, and I feel like I'm going to keep saying it because I just feel like it's really easy to kind of sit on we need to, like, oh, there's somewhere in the middle. No, it's like you need to make a decision and like stand for something. You have to. And it's like, it's not okay for people to speak about people the way that they are. It's just not okay. It's not a free speech thing. It's not we need to allow people. It's like, no, like certain things are fucking straight up. They're just wrong. And there is not another side to it. If you think there's another side, you're wrong. Like you are making wrong choices that are the reason that these things are happening from the ground level, from the point of view of why people are scared in the first place. It's
You are
because
complicit.
there's an us and a them, and it could just be an us. It could just be an us, but instead there needs to be this. Again, it comes down to fear of what's different. The moment you create that, then there's white supremacists that are coming and shooting motherfuckers.
Sure.
Like if you don't have that, there isn't that fear, and if there's no fear, then there's no need to protect yourself. You know?
I do. Yeah.
Blood's boiling thinking about it, Tim.
Yeah.
Just getting angry, you know what I mean?
Don't get Andy. Don't get Andy.
Fucking renders are crashing.
First Photoshop, now this. Yeah, I don't know.
Nick, you did something fun this weekend.
Oh, that's a great segue. Let's go from this dark topic to what this weekend.
There's no way to do it.
baby.
Yeah,
there's no way.
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
Yeah.
You want something in the middle here?
Yeah, let's read an ad.
I'll give you an
That's
ad break.
fine.
You want an ad break?
Yeah, let's do an ad
Here's
break.
an ad break.
It's a good ad break.
Thank you. It was a great ad break. It gave you time to clear your head.
Great. Yeah, I did do something fun this weekend. So a while back, we talked about how I made a bunch of Doritos commercials for the Super Bowl, the Crash the Super Bowl contest that was happening in 2013. I think was when I made those videos. At least when I posted them. And it was back in the day. I was trying to win this contest. I made 3 videos. Called up old Shark Finnegan, Chomp Chomp, Alexis Kazambalidis, and Alex Lamita. I was like, you guys want to come over? I wrote some commercials. You guys want to come film these like with us? I think Alex happened to be around when I was like brainstorming some of them, so he helped me with the creative. So I was like, yeah, come over. I'll write you into it. Did 3 commercials. Nothing ever came of it, of course, because Doritos had probably thousands of submissions, I imagine, in 2013, which you know when you're doing a contest like this. Really, it's a dumb long shot. But for me,
Better than a lot of them.
it was fun too. Thank you, Kevin. It was just fun to challenge yourself and have a deadline and like do something, like try to follow the rules, but make something creative and get all your friends. More importantly, get all your friends involved, including my wife, who actually ended up helping out with that one as well.
She was a voice.
She was a voice. She's a voice in it. And so we did those 3 years ago, and then not 3 years ago, excuse me, like 6 years ago at this point. 2003, yeah. Flash forward, one of them got caught in an algorithm, and is at 27 million views, which is completely ridiculous.
Hilarious.
And hilarious. The other one's at 3 million and one's in like 500,000. These are
Kind
my
of Funny's most popular video of all time is at 4.1 million.
It's ridiculous. Obviously, I'm under no illusion that the quality of the video is the reason why this
Every
thing got
day,
27
Doritos
million.
looks at that commercial like, what could have been? What
Yeah,
could have
there's,
been?
there's a couple things.
Coulda had
Because
this.
first off, like some of those commercials are legitimately good. All 3 of them seem like commercials that you could see on TV. The quality's there, the writing's there, the campiness of it all. It's perfect. Like totally nailed it. But the craziest thing is the 27 million views on one led to what, like 4 million on another and like 500K to another, and led your channel that had no subscribers to 40,000 subscribers.
Yeah, hilarious. So we were joking about it.
There are 40,000 people still subscribed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're about to get a treat.
What's weird to me though is that like
I forgot about this guy. Unsubscribed.
there's no way that that's gonna be the fascinating. There's no way that I would see that and be like, oh, I'm immediately subscribing to this. If that's a dumb fucking 30-second commercial, I'm not subscribing to this guy's channel. I mean, like, I vet channels probably a little bit more, where at least I go to the channel and see if there's more than, I don't know, 3 videos on the channel total before I subscribe. Doesn't matter. I digress. I appreciate everyone out there watching this who subscribed to my channel. Get ready for another one. So we were joking around about it. I sent Lex and Sean and Alex were on a group text message. I was like, hey, check this out. And I sent them a link with like a picture of the views. And they were like, holy shit, that's hilarious. And jokingly, they were like, we should do more of these. And you guys were all encouraging me to do more of them. So I was like, fuck it. I'll write 3 more. We'll find a day that works. Alexis happened to be in town last weekend because Hunter was playing the A's. He's on the Texas Rangers, who's playing the A's now. Alex lives here still. Sean has no life in LA. So I was like, why don't you come up?
He's 100 Thieves, Sean.
He rides his bike. I see that.
He's actually really fit now. Like he dropped
he
like 20
looks
pounds.
great.
He looks great.
That's
He's
what
having a
LA
great time
do to
behind
you.
the piece.
God
I'm
bless it. We're
joking
never
around.
going there.
But yeah, Sean just flew up and we shot 3 more of them over the weekend, and it was a fucking blast. It was so fun. Like, and I didn't realize, I had hoped like secretly that I was like, I really hope that we have a good time. And it's just like the great part about these is there's no reason to do them. So I don't really have to pay attention to like the Doritos logo. Is it the right bag? Is it this? Is it that? Doesn't fucking matter.
Even Doritos.
Who cares? Exactly. I think there was one that we were joking around. I was like, we should just do a commercial for nothing.
For Ruffles.
It's just 30 and then end it with the Doritos logo. Like it has nothing to do with Doritos. So it was fun, but what was really, really cool about it was it turned into an entire day of us hanging out, giggling, having fun, obviously. And then Alexis hit up Tim. We hit up my brother who was in town also. Ended up, 11 of us ended up going out to dinner and getting hammered at the Brixton, which is a place we all used to go to when we all used to party in town.
Ended up at Nick's house until 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
D was just... So when we left the Brixton, it was like, I don't know, 11 p.m. or maybe 10:30 because it turned kind of into a club, and we're like, oh, we're done. Let's go fuck somewhere else. We leave, and of course, Nick and D are like, we're gonna go home. But we had to go back to get Alexis's bag from their house, and so we all kind of as a group just go over there, and then
Supplanted yourselves.
We get in, and D was just like, hey. you guys, there's a liquor store around the block. You want to just
some
go
beers,
get some
hang
shit,
out?
bring it over here, and we all just hang out. And we're
Y'all
all of us are kind of like,
She's a scroll.
Well, the plan was to go to a bar
Yeah.
and have one more drink. We all said that, and we kind of kept saying it. And yeah, D was like, "You guys should just come here."
and so we went to the liquor store. We got a whole bunch of White Claws. Yeah, clawed up, baby.
Everyone was like, "Hey, what do you guys want from the liquor store?" And I was like, "Can someone just get me a bag of hot Cheetos?" Didn't get that bag.
I'm sorry about that.
That's fucked up.
That is fucked up.
But what was not fucked up was us going there, and God, the plethora of movies that we skimmed through.
We did.
Including, can we talk about this? Or?
Nah.
No, okay. Well, one thing we
Damn
did
it.
watch was
Porno.
Rush Hour,
Oh yeah.
which
Yeah.
was just fantastic. Rush Hour 1, just put it on in the background every once in a while, looking
So
over and be like,
funny.
what's Jackie up to? You
Has
know
it
what I
aged
mean?
yet? Has it aged like well?
So that's
one was
why we
paying
put it on.
attention.
And we weren't paying enough attention to really tell, but like,
Seems
just
like
from looking
it.
at it, I'm like, this still seems like a good movie.
I mean, it's shot on film. It looks good.
yeah, it looks great.
The looks of it are great. I mean,
So let's start there.
I couldn't really hear. You know what I mean? Like we were watching it with subtitles on because we were all goofing around.
What channel or what?
I think it was on Vudu. I want to say is where. Oh no, Amazon Prime.
It was
or
Prime.
Vudu.
That one
It
was Prime, yeah.
Yes, they got Rush Hour. So
That's gotta be one I
go back
gotta
and
check
watch
out.
But yeah, but it ended up
Rush
turning
Hour
into like a really
review.
fun thing. It was very similar to like I kind of felt vibes of when I went to my high school reunion. I was like, oh, it's really good to see people I haven't seen because I haven't seen Lex in like a couple years probably.
Yeah.
We've like texted here and there, but I just haven't
I think
actually
since the last
hung out
time
with
she
her.
was here at the
Probably
studio,
That's
yeah.
probably the last time I saw her, which was when we were doing morning show stuff.
yeah.
So
Barbecue.
Matt was there.
Barbecue.
Your
Of
brother.
course, my brother's there. My brother's always in town now. Always.
Nick's fucking
You love
brother,
it.
Matt. This motherfucker. We get there, and if you
too
guys don't
much.
know Matt,
I
he
love
is
him.
the nicest dude ever. It is always just like, we're going to order everything on the menu. Like, he's like Kevin's role model. And this dinner ended with all of us being done eating. Like, we had more than enough food, more than enough apps, more than enough.
It's to the point where I didn't order an entree. Because
Yeah,
there were so many
smart.
apps, I was
No,
like, I
that's
don't,
smart.
there's
You
no
gotta
need
eat
for
And this woman walks out, arms just full of plates, and it's like, what is going on? Cream puffs. These giant fucking cream puffs.
Wait,
Where
what's
did
a
you
cream
go?
puff?
What
What's a
place
cream
were you at?
puff?
Brixton.
Imagine like
Brixton has
how would you
food
describe a
and
cream
desserts.
puff? It's like it's
Weird,
kind of like
It's a cream puff. It's like
It's a
puff
pastry
with
with
cream
pastry
in it.
with like ice creamy stuff, and then another pastry on top, and then whipped cream on top.
So it's like a sweet thing.
Yeah.
Oh
It's a
yeah, it's a
dessert.
dessert.
I'm thinking. Oh, you know what I'm thinking? Wow, I'm thinking like Cheeto puff, like cream.
Nah.
I'm thinking like cheese or some shit.
No. This is like a dessert hamburger.
Oh, cool.
All right. So she starts coming out with them and like putting them down. And it's just like, who actually wants these? Like maybe one or two people. I'm not going to name names.
I was gonna say, how excited is Kevin right now?
Next thing you know, she goes back and comes back. This motherfucker got one for everyone.
No.
No.
Oh wait, no,
He
he
didn't
didn't
get one for everyone.
He got
14.
more.
14.
He got
There were
14 of
14
them. There
people
were
with
11 of
us.
us there. No, I don't know. My brother just gets off on doing this every once in a while where he just like loves to just throw food at everything. But the second he did that, I was like, great. You're paying.
Yeah, he
Straight
paid.
up.
So
I was
shout out to you,
like,
Matt Scarpino.
Thank you for paying. But I
you're
looked at him, I was like,
fantastic.
because I know when my brother orders something for everyone, his intention is then to pay.
Yeah, of course.
If he starts
He's
getting
good
shots for people, I'm like, all right, you're clearly gonna fit the bill for this. So you do what you want to do. That's
Yeah.
fine.
And
it's
hey,
up to
that
you. if
cream
you
puff
wanna
was
eat it.
fantastic.
It wasn't bad. I was hammered, so I was like, oh,
Nick was hammered.
It was
great.
free bank robbers. That's what the drink was called.
bank robber?
I have no idea. It was some rye beverage with honey in it. It was
Cool
tasty.
G. I gotta interrupt real quick. What photo did you send me?
Oh, I looked over and your chair was leaking what do you guys drink? Diet Coke.
What do you mean?
I sent you a photo, bro.
Wait, you're telling me that in the other room, Andy has a package on his desk that's leaking Diet Coke
No, it's
through his chair?
but I already cleaned it.
Oh,
There's a
okay.
big puddle on the
Oh
floor.
shit! Oh, so my Diet Coke can fell down. When the fuck did that happen? Because it was to
Did you
my
pee your
right.
pants?
Did the crash
didn't
cause that
drop
too?
The crash.
Photoshop crashing caused
Oh,
that?
crash. Got it.
I wouldn't have gotten that either.
Yeah,
That was a
I
reach.
was thinking.
That
I was like, did we talk about a car
That was
crash?
before the ad break. It was so long ago. But no, it's fun. So and Tim was like, "What's your plan for this?" I was like, "Same plan as it always was. Get around to editing when I can, and just silently put them on the channel and see how many people unsubscribe. See how many people who have been subscribed for 6 years ago. I'm still subscribed to that channel,
love it.
and see
I
how
can't wait
the
to
views
see
go
it.
down.
It is so rare that Nick does something that I'm not intimately
Intrinsically involved with,
So I'm
yeah.
like, I have no idea what these are going
They're
to be. I saw
dumb as
Alexis
shit.
with a bag of Cheetos in her pants, and
Yeah.
that's all I know.
Doritos or Cheetos?
Doritos.
Wow, we're crossing brands
I was
here.
like, come on, man, let's keep going on brand here.
What's funny is
Edo.
I ate so many Doritos on Saturday. They got to the point where they just did not taste good anymore. I was like, I can't eat. I can't
impossible.
put these in my.
What flavors?
You-
So you only got nacho cheese?
No, because that was the fun part. Was before when we did the Crash Super Bowl, they were like only used this specific bag of either nacho cheese or Cool Ranch. You can't use any other ones. And I was like, I'm not doing this
The blue
for any
pill, the red pill
specific
matrix.
reason. I'm just doing it for the joke of literally only having Doritos commercials on my private channel. So we got like spicy jalapeno habanero and like a bunch of cool. We got some of the original Doritos in that like old school
taco.
bag. Yeah, I was like,
Taco's the original flavor.
So you're just
remember?
eating at a certain
did
point.
not.
They just taste like crunch.
Yeah.
And your
What a taste.
your palate just goes nuts. It's like, don't do this to me
Spicy
anymore.
nachos, fantastic. The newer one that my mouth's watering thinking about it. The newest one, Flamas,
Flamas.
which is you know the turbo Flamas.
Sure.
Those like how fucking crazy that taste
I remember
was.
KFA.
Yeah, so they make Doritos Flamas with like the same seasoning on the Doritos. And it's super. My mouth is so watery right now, guys. They're so sour, Kevin. They're like sour and like fucking hot. They're delicious, dude.
Sounds great.
Can't recommend them more.
More. I like that.
They're delicious.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what I did this
That
weekend.
sounds like a fun time.
How long
do you
was
have,
the
like,
shoot?
You don't have leftover chips? Or?
We did. We did, but we had stuffed a lot of them down our pants, and so I was like, I can't remember which one of these is like has touched my special part, so
I'm
we're
down.
throwing all of them out.
Doesn't matter to me.
I wrote 5 bits. We got 4 of them knocked out, but one's like an alternate version. The other one's like doesn't really count. So 3 of them knocked out, and I was like, I did the same thing I always do. I'm like, I'm gonna make this super simple. I'm not gonna obsess about everything. I'm just gonna have fun. And it's going to be
That's not
great.
Nick Scarpino.
And then I obsessed about everything. And I was like, we're going to start at 10. We'll have a leisurely start, and we'll finish probably by 2. We went straight till 6 p.m. It was a pretty long shoot, but it ended up it was actually very relaxed, and there was only a handful of us there, so it didn't really matter. And then I was like, well, we'll see what this goes, and it ended up being we just raged, and I was so hungover on Sunday, just so hungover on Sunday to the point where I was like, there's only one thing that can cure this: Taco Bell.
Oh wow!
I hammered Taco Bell on Sunday.
Sure.
We watched
Burrito
the boys.
Saturday, Taco Bell
Because I was like, I was getting over that cold that I had last week.
Oh right.
And Dee was like, she was like, you're not going to Punchline tonight, are you? I was like, I don't think so. Because I just like, I went to Punchline last Sunday, and that's what put me over the top of getting sick. Because I was like, I'm kind of feeling sick. But then I was sitting there in the club all night till like 10 o'clock. It just wore me out. So I was like, I'm not going tonight. She's like, what if you, like, we got food and you go watch the boys? And I was like, that is a great Sunday. What if that food was T-Bell? And what if I ordered way too much? And what if I accidentally ate all of it?
Jesus.
That's a lot. 3 items at T-Bell for me is my breaking point. The 4th item is the one that makes me start feeling like I'm packing it down, you know? And then we got
So
cookies.
do you wanted to watch the boys with you?
Yeah. That turned her into a
that
nerd
sounds
now.
like a fucking treat, dude.
It was a great
to have like
great
someone
end
you
to a
love be
great
like,
weekend.
what if we just get you food and you fucking sit your ass down there and we just watch the boys, or
great.
watch like
Whatever.
or we just play Marvel Ultimate Alliance. Like, oh man, let's do that,
Dude,
dude.
let's fuck real quick.
Fuck
But,
yeah.
but shout out to my wife, because originally she was like, hey, I'm going to clear out. I'm going to go sit by a pool up in Napa for the day. And you let you guys do your thing. And I was like, I actually kind of want you to hang out because you were here the first time we did these. Like, it'd be cool if you hung out and help out. And she was like, all right, sure. And she sat all day, and that turned her into Party D. Because
got
by the
Party
time
D.
we got
I
out,
couldn't
she was
believe it.
like, my brother was
believe
like, do you want to get a cocktail? She's like, I do. I'm like, oh,
Party
what's
D.
happening?
Shit.
I was like,
Yeah,
oh my
It was
God.
another one of those moments, like much earlier than I, where it's like she ordered the drink and everyone at the table went silent for like half a second until we all realized we got to be cool. Just play it off.
Just
be
cool. Don't say anything.
Don't make a big
Yeah, don't
deal.
play-
Just
don't-
let it go.
Yeah, 3 drinks later, she was having a great, and that's always a cool thing for me, because I'm like, you know, in my elevated age, I like to take these moments when they come to me and appreciate them. So I like looked down the table, and it was like my wife was talking to
My
Lex and
wife.
Paula, and Hannah was there, and they were all just having a great time. And I was like, and then I looked over at you, and we're all hammered. Kevin's arguing with Sean Finnegan about something. I can't remember what it
moon.
was.
No, what was it?
It was science
Oh.
again or
God, I
something.
can't
this
believe-
time
It was
wasn't-
Mariah Carey.
No, it was
What was it?
information.
Oh,
like,
net
being
neutrality.
exchanged-
It was net neutrality. Is he still fighting?
my God.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't net neutrality.
It
We
started
made
with net
fun of him.
neutrality.
We started making fun
It
of him.
started with how it was about how their phones are listening to you, and like it was Google was getting all your information and selling it, right?
Yeah.
And Tim was like, yeah, well, they're selling it so they can have a company. And Sean's like, it's just fundamentally not okay. And I'm like, we're all way too drunk to have this conversation, and you
was
guys are
so-
killing my fucking vibe right
Tim,
now. But it was a blast.
Sometimes I'm so happy to have you as my friend, cause like when he started talking about how like, yeah, you what was he? He was saying something along the lines of
Well,
like,
it was
you
the-
have to have like convictions and like stick to stuff, and like when you campaign for something, you have to like commit to it. And like I think I looked up and I was like, yeah, like you know,
Just
net
got so loud.
neutrality. And like I just look over at Tim and we share this because no one else picked
Yeah.
up that I was making fun of him,
Yeah.
and we
Oh, I
share
picked it
this
up.
great moment.
God,
Great.
that's so
Well, no, I
funny.
said it like 5 more times afterwards.
There's no one I enjoy making fun of more than Sean Finnegan. There's no one on the goddamn planet because he takes himself so seriously. It
But
just makes
what's
it so
funny is
easy.
like he takes himself seriously, but There are certain things you give him shit about. He goes, well.
Because he knows.
There are moments where he just goes,
Yeah. No,
like we were joking about him with 100 Thieves stuff because he was a lot of 100 Thieves stuff, and he showed up in 100 Thieves stuff, and then you gave him shit for it. He's like, yeah. I'm like, touche, Sean.
Damn. Why
were there a fucking motorcycle gang outside?
Dude, that was the funniest thing about
alarms
that.
went off.
Kevin's talking to us, and like I could hear him getting a little bit louder, but I know none of us could hear anything.
I couldn't hear a fucking word he said. It was like that scene in the movie where someone starts cursing, but like it's too loud.
It always happens that way. Hey, let's kick it to Kevin because it's dead quiet right now.
Yeah.
And Kevin by the open window, and as soon as his mic goes live, motorcycle goes by, sets off the Hell's Angels, a train rolls in, derails.
It's like the
fucking-
opening scene of Austin Powers 2. He's going through, and it's just like his dick's always covered a little bit.
Oh
It's
yeah,
Kevin's
that's
voice.
a
Great scene. Great scene.
Did you see the video recently of that where they set it to the haters gonna hate?
No.
They set the intro to Austin Powers, or he's running through the streets.
It's
But
probably
they
the same
sped
tempo.
it. They sped it up a bit. They
bit.
sped it up a bit for the Taylor Swift song,
Yeah.
and it's so good. It works so perfectly to see him and the crowd's dancing. It's so great, man. I love the internet sometimes. Sometimes I don't.
Sometimes.
Sometimes
Well, that's
I
why
don't.
I love the internet right now for all the Avengers stuff. Now that
Oh
the
my
end
God.
game's out, so everyone's just like, fuck it. We're going all out. We're gonna improve the movie. The scene where Tony figures out the time travel and like drives the car over and like gives Cap back his shield. Someone added Back in Black where like you hear the car in the distance coming up and like just they edited it perfectly so when the camera cuts of like him in the car it like muffles the sound of it and so I'm like, thank you internet, thank
So
you.
great.
You know
I
what
just
mean?
appreciate like all the little stuff they're showing now of like today like they were like those lion ass trailers and it was like trailer shot compared with the real shot and how they
the
changed
CG
things.
differences or like the shot like the little nods that we didn't even see of like Ant-Man with the orange slices.
Yep. Yeah. I wait.
Oh yeah, I
great.
just saw that recently.
I'm waiting for someone to do the supercut of Endgame because what was it, 3 hours long? It was where it's 3 hours, but every song is just replaced with Immigrant Song.
Every single song.
Every song.
Well, that,
3
I mean,
hours.
that went live recently too, where
Did it?
somebody like perfectly edited because there have been edits before where the audio's kind of jumbled and
Yeah.
you hear like the background music or whatever, but they did a really great edit of when Chris Evans first gets the hammer,
Pulls me on their back.
Yeah, and it's
go,
so
go,
good,
go,
dude.
go. That's what we watched. We watched one of those today.
We watched a cut today where they added the
Anthony
Odin,
Hopkins.
Anthony Hopkins,
That's
Odin speech of whoever holds.
So good.
Baby,
God, it's so
Again,
good, man.
and guess what? Last time I watched that, 2:00 in the morning in my house with Tim and Sean and my wife, because we were just we were a little drunk. And we were just pulling up random trailers. I was like, "You guys remember the 300 trailer? Wasn't that cool? Let's watch it,
Dude,
We just watched trailers for like an hour.
Yeah, that's the thing is everyone left, and it ended up being just me, Finnegan, D, and Nick. And it was one of those things where we knew we were overstaying our welcome, but it never
Nah, D
felt
would've just
time
gone
to
to
go.
bed. D
That
would've
was
gone to
it.
bed.
Like at some point, like D kept being like, "What about this trailer?" I'm like, "Why are you asking about the 300 trailer right now?
It's
This
fun,
doesn't
man.
make. She's a scroll. You're right."
No, I think my wife has hit a point where she's just like, I'm gonna start hanging out more and just have fun.
It was
And
great.
That's good. That's really good.
That
I'm
was
proud of her.
so much fun.
Because I think she needs the stress relief. I think she's been working real hard. We had so much fucking construction happening in my building that it's just driving us both nuts. So at a certain point, I'm like, let's just get a cocktail. Should we just get a cocktail? Can we just be that old couple at the bar, get a cocktail, and just lamenting
not
about
just
life?
like that.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, she had a little fun in Austin as well. It was good. Good hanging out with everyone.
Guys,
Good hanging.
I hate to ruin this great conversation.
Oh no.
But I asked him about
We're
website
gonna go back
earlier.
to gun violence.
What is your screen? Because every time you look at it, your screen picks up this color. It looks like you got nothing going on your screen.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't
You
know.
know that's weird. It looks that color.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The screen looks blue.
The blue of this looks like it's
teal.
bleeding on your screen. When I look at it, it looks like you got no real screen. Now it looks fine. But
Oh, okay. Oh, that's probably just viewing angle.
Sure.
Yeah, you're right. You're so right.
Right?
At an angle, it
Fucking
looks
weird.
like so blue.
everybody, next time you're at a Kind of Funny meet and greet, ask to see Andy's phone from the side.
I'm sure I'll have the same
Throw it in
case
the
by
pond.
then. This comes from Gizmodo. Japan approves scientists' plan to create world's first human animals.
Nope. Don't like this.
Humanimals.
Don't like any of that.
Humanimals.
Yeah.
This
So,
is like that.
What does that mean?
For the first time, a government is supporting a plan to create animal embryos with human cells and bring them to term, resulting in a type of humanimal known as a human-animal chimera. A committee from Japan's science ministry signed off on a request by researchers to grow a human pancreas in either rats or mice, the first such experiment to gain approval since a government ban was reversed earlier this year. First, we're in such a position to start serious studies in the field after 10 years of preparation. So they've been preparing for this shit for a decade.
Dude, but that's such a
Japanese.
deceptive headline. Where it's
What's
like
the goal?
They're just gonna grow
human organs.
organs in other animals.
animals.
Yeah.
which
So
makes a lot of sense.
So later on, a future paragraph, but just pretend I'm not going to read this, just so we can think about the possibilities,
Sure.
because a future paragraph does state, but to the disappointment of some of my coworkers and potentially many readers, this is not a step towards cat girls, nor is it a way to cross yourself with your favorite animal. Scientists perform this kind of research with the hope of one day providing a horse of transplantable human organs from animals we already have the infrastructure to slaughter, such as pigs. Human organs for transplant are otherwise scarce. So this isn't to create Cats the movie, but what would you like to be fused with?
No, I don't know. No, thank you.
You don't know?
I don't. I know. I do not want to be fused with anything.
What if you could have a child that could be fused with
No.
something?
Why a Portillo?
Tiger.
Ew,
You
but it's
pick
just
the
like,
smallest, fragilest dog to fuse your
But it's
child
just
with.
like
What parts?
actually
Like what?
Not the legs.
Like, what
Not
do
the
you
want me
legs.
to do?
What kind of
What
fucked
are
up
you
person are you?
thinking?
Not the legs, not the back, not the brain.
What'd you,
something
what'd you fuse
useful.
your kid with, Portillo? What's he do for a living? Long jumper.
I'm just saying, I like that dog. I mean, what? So you're saying you do it with like a lemur tail or some shit? You just want a kid with a lemur tail? Are we picking parts?
spider monkey tail.
Are we fusing them with a fucking thing?
I'd go gorilla or something.
You want a gorilla
to have
human?
my son to be super strength, like super
Yeah,
strong.
it'd be-
like
Like
Yeah,
that one
no.
movie, the one show.
Congo,
No, the one show
Oh.
that just happened.
Planet of the Apes.
The Steve Austin show?
No, it was Superpowers.
Steve Irwin?
The Boys.
Oh, the
You know what I'm talking
the
about?
Netflix one,
Yeah.
the one that Gerard Way worked on.
Yeah, it was
Barry
good.
watched it.
Umbrella Academy. Okay.
Umbrella
Academy.
Academy.
The dude ended up having like gorilla like chest.
Never
Well, that was
finished it.
because of like
Show.
weird experimentation too. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but like
Well, I don't
he-
want anybody having. I don't want any.
I'd want my daughter to be super hot. What's a hot animal?
Cat. Yeah. Cat.
What?
That's weird. Human is
cats-
pretty
You
hot.
You never seen a cat and been like,
That's-
yeah.
This conversation scares me.
Well, I mean, that's not fair because they're always like walking in front of you, shaking it.
What the fuck?
That's not fair.
You know?
Kind of funny.
the-
Anti-gun, pro-animal
Pro
fucking.
cat fucking.
30, 40 years. You never know.
So family fucking is in 20 years.
I don't think we should be doing this. You can't do this to your children. You don't want to sit
No.
there. I don't want it done to me, let alone
No,
my
but
children.
I'm not saying.
not
No, but no.
nice,
Here's the
dude.
thing. Here's the thing. Kevin or Greg is approaching this as if he is turning an already existing child into an animal. I'm talking like brand new. Like this is like you've never seen.
Like
you
they
have no
go and
emotional
they
connection.
edit
To this.
I
your-
still
they-
don't want
they edit
their
your
genes
DNA.
spliced together into
Here's-
this thing.
here's-
This nightmare.
Here's my pitch. All right. What if
Where are we
you
going?
add eagle eyes to
Whoa.
a kid?
But
you
this
know?
isn't even a transplant
He's got-
situation.
No,
we're
no, I
we're doing
know,
the
but
fly kind of shit.
Shia LaBeouf, Eagle Eye.
Yeah, and you know how it's gonna come out. You know that it's just gonna be the eyes. He's not gonna have weird feathers where they don't belong. It's
I don't
just,
take the chance, man.
But I'm telling you, there's no chance.
Turns
There's
into
always a
Archangel.
chance.
No, there isn't. Not in this hypothetical.
Science with
In-
Kevin.
no, in this hypothetical, we got it down.
Am I talking to a genie or Satan? And
No,
they're the only people
you're
who can
talking
promise
to a
this
future
stuff.
scientist, all
Wish
right?
number 3. They'll fuck
Don't
me.
fuck me.
It looked like magic, but it's not.
No, yeah, I feel you, Kevin.
Yeah.
If I could, yeah.
So
if-
this kid is gonna have great, like he's gonna be able to see fucking 100.
But
Yeah.
there's downsides to eagle eyes too.
What?
Google eagle vision. They can't. It's not perfect.
Yeah, it is.
They can't see 2 feet in front of their head. They can't drive cars.
do like a fly. If you do a fly,
No.
like flies fucking see like 360. There's
Nobody
no.
knows, nobody knows how fly sees.
They don't have angles
What a
of,
nightmare.
they don't have blind spots. It's just like that's how they know where you're coming from any angle. Like when you try to.
Nah, I've gotten a couple flies.
Yeah,
I
no.
don't
You
believe
put your
that.
hand and
I've
cup
actually-
it like this real slow behind it.
I've actually caught a fly with pliers once.
No, you have. You're
Yeah, I have.
fucking
I
lying.
I caught a fly with
You're
absolutely
lying.
have.
It sounds
I
like
absolutely
Blue
have.
I
Gray.
caught a fly with chopsticks one time when I was training karate.
It's a movie.
that's a
It's from a
movie.
movie. It's from Crack.
Again, this conversation scares me.
I'm
'cause
mad
it-
I can't think of more sexy animals.
It reminds me of Sorry to Bother You, and it makes me think that
Oh,
we are
yeah?
closer to horse
Horses.
people than we want
Horses,
to
okay.
believe.
Again,
and it's
read
fucked
the
up.
article.
I don't like horses.
The
No
article did not say that at all.
But again,
Oh,
because
we're
of science, who the fuck
extrapolating.
knows?
Or stick. You know what I mean?
See?
The question is, if you guys all start fusing yourself with
big.
horses, I'm going to start a stool company, like a stepping stool company, so
Oh.
everyone can come bang you.
Jesus Christ.
What?
Wait,
Okay.
what?
How else are they
I
going to
guess.
get the dick up that far?
I mean,
Horses are tall.
Just normal stools.
Oh man.
Stepping stools by Scarpino.
If I could guarantee
Sex
that
stools.
my son could have like a giant horse dick, I'd do it.
No, that's bad.
You
Here's
don't
the
want
thing.
it too
Do you
big.
think that?
Too
But then
big. Like a
women don't
pony
really
dick.
like dicks that big. That's what my wife says.
to govern me.
My wife always says it's just fine. It's
serviceable.
good. Yeah, exactly.
Serviceable. It gets the job
She
done.
says it's not bad.
She's like, for what I love most about your dick? Your mouth. That's what I like.
That sounds like such a Rodney Dangerfield style.
You know what? I'll go. What about like some kind of if I have to do this, right? What about some?
Oh,
kind of,
now
like,
we're talking.
what's like those lizards that can like grab
Komodo
the sticks?
dragons.
No, that's a different thing.
Chameleons.
Chameleon.
Yeah, whatever. You know what I mean? The good hands that get to crawl up stuff like
Got
that.
some good hands.
for the grappler. The future of the grappler.
I always thought I was the grappler. It turns out it's going to be a little
shit.
druggy.
See,
He's going to be
think,
able to grab
I think
shit.
I'm with Andy on this one because like
Horse dick?
No, gorillas are fucking jacked.
Yeah.
You ever seen a hairless gorilla?
But you wouldn't have
Kevin,
knuckles.
Google hairless gorilla.
Oh, that's gross.
But just parts of it. You get to
look
choose.
at
I'm looking
the
at-
What the fuck kind of what?
No, I'm not saying that. I just want them to have like the upper body strength of a gorilla because you could fuck people up like a UFC fighter.
Yeah.
Like your
It's
grappling
like
strength would be
Bezoars in Beast
unbelievable.
Wars.
Do you think Brock Lesnar could take a gorilla in a fight?
No, gorillas are.
Oh, no. What?
Abnormally
Two
strong.
Brock Lesnar's couldn't take a gorilla in a fight.
They're something like 7 times apes are 7 times stronger than human beings.
Jesus
So
Christ.
could 7 Brock Lesnar's take an ape?
Did you do
Depends on the
hairless gorilla?
I
Can you
did.
imagine the F5?
Did you?
Hello?
It's not doing it.
Hang on.
But I mean, I
my
feel like
Winston
this does a
impersonation.
decent.
I mean,
enough
that look how
job.
fucking big his forearms are.
Kevin,
Look
show
at
the
his
people the
shoulders.
gorilla.
Like,
That's
this
a
looks like a
big-
cartoon.
I think
Like if I
maybe
could
they-
look like that right now, if they were like, dude, here's the workout regimen,
He
I
looks
would
like
seriously
Popeye.
consider it.
But here's the thing.
And fail
Look at
miserably.
one on the top left. The one on the
Hold
top
on,
left,
Kevin's
Kevin.
got to say something. What's Kevin?
I believe gorillas have
This motherfucker.
He's having a good time.
He
Yeah,
grabs Paula's ass. What do you do, Kev?
fucking.
nothing.
You run away, right?
And he gives you that look, and you're like, you know what? Touche. Touche.
You told him you'd watch, right?
No, I'd be scared.
Damn, the chimp on the
was a
third
good-
the third from the
hairless
right.
chimp?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I don't know about him.
There's a good
Maybe
one
it's a
on-
hairless chimp.
there was a
They're
good
like,
one on Reddit
look
last
at
night.
his fucking muscles.
I don't like
Jesus.
Look at how
Why is he
jacked
hairless?
is.
No, I don't like that.
He probably has like
Kevin,
some sort of
type in
disease.
sexy animal.
No.
No.
Do it, Kevin.
It's just gonna be a bunch of
Do it.
Rouge the
Wait, hold
Bat.
on. Don't click off. Don't click off. Click back down onto the thing here. Just
Please,
move.
please.
I just need you to move the words. Look at the third autofill there.
Albino, it's Brock Lesnar.
Remember I was talking about how many Brock Lesnar's could take a gorilla? You put in gorilla albino is Brock Lesnar.
That's so bizarre.
How bizarre.
that thing's
And now do sexy animals and let's see what you get from me.
Okay.
I would say rabbits. But
Yeah,
that's
but you're
because
just
of, like,
thinking Space
cartoon
Jam,
shit,
though.
Yeah.
Nah, you're just thinking of
Lola
Lola
Bunny,
Bunny.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's no sexy animal.
Bring it up, Kevin.
No,
yeah.
I
Don't
have
bring it.
to
I
look.
do not
What's
think that's a
wrong
great idea.
The horse one on the top
Look at that
one.
lion getting some down the bottom left.
All right, look. I think the kangaroo is probably the.
Wow, damn.
This guy is.
I never
fucking
realized how much a
jacked.
kangaroo's mouth looks like the
Camel.
back end of a human being, if you know what I'm talking
What?
about.
A butt crack?
The butt crack leading into the gooch.
Oh,
Okay, all
Sure,
right.
I guess.
All
Fair,
right, yeah.
fair.
You know
What? Where?
Thinking of the giant,
face?
thinking of the giant,
Just talking about this line right
muscular kangaroo. It just reminds
Yeah,
me of
that
that one
thing's
video where that one guy punches the kangaroo
Yeah.
because the kangaroo's like trying to kill his dog. You ever saw that video?
Yeah, I think we watched it.
Yeah, it's a great video. Kangaroo's trying to kill his dog. He just like stands up and scares him, and they just fucking square up and boom, just slaps him. The kangaroo's like, "Fuck."
Like, bro, not cool.
I didn't know it was your dog, dude.
What the fuck, bro? Use your words, bro.
I
Your
really
words.
don't like this kangaroo holding something.
Yeah.
It makes him seem too human. I'm not okay with
What
this.
the fuck is
yeah.
going on with that
God.
punk rock llama down there? What is happening with that thing? Look at that thing.
Sexy animals, right?
Dude, there's some bad
man.
pictures on this.
Oh yeah. Show me that ass, bro.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
I
that was
see
a
it, I see
bestiality
it.
That's
photo up
bad.
top. Yeah,
Yeah,
we should,
no, it's not.
we gotta.
All right, that's not bestiality.
The dog fucking a
That's
woman.
not
That's
bestiality.
clearly a dog hump. Don't show it, but that's clearly just a dog humping a fully clothed woman.
No, I don't think
Maybe
so.
her
I don't
skirt's
know,
up.
man.
You never just
Should
pop
I
the skirt
do
up.
I take a time code? Are we taking that out?
Yeah,
or-
we gotta take that
There's a
out.
censor thing on it.
No, it's
It's
still
not big enough.
Implications there.
Yeah.
Of what?
We've been talking about
It's a
fucking
dog
animals for the last
humping.
30 minutes. I think we're fine.
Don't be
The
so
first
sensitive.
time, the
put a
first time we
black bar
clicked
of me
over, you
jerking off.
took off the meme text and it was just a picture of a sloth that said rape. Like, I mean, like, there's a lot. I don't know if we should have jumped in, but we jumped in, everybody.
Yeah.
At least it's not like the fucking
Where is
George
it?
Jetson porn.
Yeah.
Have we talked
I
about
don't know. We
that?
talked about that
I
on
don't
this show.
think so.
haven't we?
We
sure
have
didn't.
not talked about it. So yeah, like a couple weeks ago, the Kind of Funny podcast was
Brian Fawcett.
Like I don't even remember what the headline
It was- it was,
honestly.
The internet's gone too far.
The internet's gone too far.
That's what it was.
And I don't know. Oh, we're talking
We were
about
talking
robots that we'd fuck.
Yeah.
Wow. There's a theme. But anyways, the Jetsons robot Rosie came up, and so for the thumbnail, it's always hard finding a fucking thumbnail for many of our shows, but this show specifically. And so I found a suggestive one of Jetsons stuff.
It was just George fucking Judy, right?
Yeah. But then I censored it out. I put a censor box around it, so it's like, cool. This is totally.
Wait, Judy his
totally
wife or his
fine.
daughter?
Judy was the daughter.
No, he's fucking his
definitely
wife.
the mom.
He's
It was
fucking
the
his
mom.
wife.
It was the mom. But then I showed
Jane,
Greg.
his wife.
Yes. Oh, there we go.
Judy, his lover.
Don't tell Elroy.
It's still illegal in the
His
future.
20 years. So I slacked you this, Greg. And I was like, hey, is this okay? Like, because usually when it's a more risque thing, I want at least some level of like eyes, so it's not
Checks
my
and
decision.
balances.
Yeah, there has to be checks and balances. And you're like, yeah, it's totally fine. And then the next day, when it's about to go live, I get a Slack from Barrett like,
It's 6 p.m. It's like 6:30 p.m. And I don't know how I caught it. And it was the day before the podcast was supposed to go live publicly. And I don't know why I'm looking. I was like, huh, that looks weird. And the mom's tits are just fully out.
Super
I censored the like intercourse part. I missed that. I didn't even see that.
And then you showed it to me, and I was like, "Yeah, the censor bar covers his dick and her ass, so it's probably fine."
Probably fine. And then Barrett had to add a bigger black box.
Yeah.
What happened?
Good job, Barrett. That's why we pay you the big bucks right here.
Man,
Somebody keeping us from
what a
getting banned
moment
on YouTube.
What a moment. That would have been fine on YouTube. YouTube doesn't give a shit.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
We get demonetized
Cartoon
anyway.
stuff. Yeah, exactly. Those rules. It's like Twitter. You can do anything on Twitter.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Thank God. God bless.
Mm-hmm.
I did that thing yesterday. A lot of butts on the internet. It's because mainly when I open my Twitter now, it's always a scroll. If it's going to be video game news or somebody we know's ass.
Oh my god, yeah. So like, what's it called? Well, we had some guests here the other day. I don't know if maybe. Oh, I think we were playing Knights and Bikes the day we recorded the party mode.
Yeah, Double Fine
I'm
was in
scrolling
the
down
office.
Twitter, and God bless her, Jessica Negri, very scantily clad, like
Yeah.
very little clothing
Very
in a
on
photo on
brand for
Twitter.
Jessica Negri.
And I'm like I think I had scrolled and I had left it on that, but I'm looking like at my phone or I'm looking at. And then, people are walking by. I'm like, it just looks like I'm fucking looking at Jessica Negri all day.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this fucking just image just kind of.
Kev, can you bring Jessica Negri's Twitter up? Like her recent set. She has such an aesthetic to her where she's just like, I'm going to get as scantily clad as possible that is
Put on a weird-
still that I can still put
weird mask.
But then I'm just going to fucking like
Scare people.
scare people.
You know, like when you go, like you're about to go to a party, right? You're like, I'm not sure what the energy of this party is going to be, and you walk in, and it's fucking outrageous energy.
Yeah.
And you're like, this is going to be a fun party. That's
she
Jessica
is a
Negri.
fun party.
Jesus Christ.
Scroll down.
What the fucking why?
This is what I'm talking about. This is still like that's themed stuff. It's the one where she's like,
Bird masks are really funny.
Is that one right there?
Insane.
Do I show it?
what?
This?
No,
Oh.
that one on the right.
No,
I think there's
feel
a
like you-
that is
visual
her
story.
energy.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
story being told.
There is
there.
a story.
You can show this Kevin show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you
It's on
scroll
So
by
this
and
one
say
is the
howdy
first one?
versus when you scroll by and don't say howdy.
She's such a goon. She's
Goon
such
is
a
the right
goon.
word.
She's a
Perfect.
goon.
You just nailed it.
Love Jess. Man.
I was thinking
Oh,
goof
that's
or
it.
goon. Yeah, both
Goon.
of them
She's a
work.
goon.
Yeah.
No, it's funny though. Like every once in a while, you'll be checking, like you'll just be scrolling like an airport and public
Oh, yeah.
spaces, and that's when it gets like that's when you become very aware of the people you follow.
Yeah.
And you gotta just watch it out because I
Yeah.
follow a lot of people who do a lot of stuff.
We all do.
Yeah.
All of our friends
of our
do. We have
friends.
so many of our friends to do, and I do it all the time. Yeah, where I scroll through and I'll be in a public place and not think about it. I've told a story before of one time. Yeah, I was at a PAX and I was scrolling through, and then I was at the Devolver booth. I was scrolling through Instagram, I think, and then I was like, oh, something's happened. I was watching a game,
And it stays on your phone.
And I did. And I was watching the game, and I came back, and the guy was like, did like a double take, and I like creep, and I was like, what? And I looked at it, was a picture of Darshell. I was like, God damn it, Darshell! Like, I had to auto refresh, get her out of there. Like, I can't just have this for fucking walk. Oh, because I was walking around doing stories for all the games I was seeing. I tell you what, Tim. Mm-hmm. Can I ask you one question to
One
close out this
question,
show?
please do.
It comes from Ignacio Rojas, who wrote into patreon.com/kindoffunny and says, now this is an old one, but I'm still using it because I like it. So my flight just got canceled and I won't be able to get back home for the foreseeable future. What are some of your airport horror stories?
The horror story of the
Oh my
airport.
god, the horror.
I mean, I've told the story a bunch of times, but it was me and Kevin almost missing our flight to New York
Terrifying.
and having to get real aggressive and push through the lines and ask a lot of favors.
Sure.
And like, I'm not the type of guy that people want to give favors to. You know what I mean?
No, people love you, Tim. It's fine.
having my flight canceled on the way back to try to get back in time for New Year's Eve was like a nightmare. Where like I'm leaving the Valley from Christmas vacation, and I have a connecting flight in LA, and it's like a late flight, and I was supposed to arrive back in San Francisco like by midnight of New Year's Eve. Like I was still gonna have, you know what I mean?
Champagne.
Well, it wasn't the actual New Year's Eve. I was like just trying to get here for the day before New Year's Eve. I guess
sure.
Some might say. And I got back I was in LA like at 10 p.m. My flight was supposed to arrive in San Francisco around midnight or 1, and it was canceled. And it was like fuck. And they're like, well, you have to walk all the way over here to this terminal, and then we'll give you a little voucher to stay at the hotel by this place, but we don't really know when our next flights are. Like, since it's the last flights of the year, it's not looking good. And I was like, what? I just felt like hopeless. I felt helpless and hopeless. And I just stayed in this fucking hotel, and they were able to find me a flight. Luckily, the next morning, like at, I don't know, 11 or 10. So I stayed in this little shitty fucking room. It sucked. I was just like not prepared. I was like tired. I felt gross. I just wanted a shower, and it was not fun. Not fun.
My real answer is the Alaska thing. No, I think about it.
Oh yeah,
That
you
was
Cool Greg on the plane.
the Cool
yeah.
Greg
Oh yeah.
issue of
That was terrible.
debacle of 2018.
Yeah.
That was just ridiculous. That was the most defensive I've ever been of a human being in my life. Where I was just like, you are not going to fucking treat my brother that way. And it was just, I was like, I don't know, I had this in me. It made me kind of hard.
Jesus.
Now you know how
you
it
aroused
feels.
yourself.
Feels good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
God.
It does.
I just felt
Let the beast out.
I was just like falling back asleep during all that shit. I was so out of it.
I roll with the punches with the airport. I think I don't know if I have a horror story.
No, you
horror
don't.
story. Yeah, I do.
No, you don't.
What's my horror story?
I think that your views for airport stuff is like much
Example.
shorter
Give me an
than-
example.
Didn't you once
Anytime anything goes wrong,
didn't
which
you
is
once
every time.
bully an airline into changing their where they were picking people up at?
I don't know if bully's the right word, but that happened by tweeting about it. Yeah.
there you
It's
go.
like, oh man, it's gonna be cutting it close. And they were like, well, move the thing. And they moved the thing. I think about when I was trying to get out of Missouri that one time to get here
Privilege.
to not miss the morning show. You're fucking right. To not miss the morning show. And I remember that thing where I kept getting diverted to like Iowa. And I had to keep texting you guys like, I'm not going to make it. But I remember I was the only person who didn't lose my cool. I wrote a nice little note to the flight attendant in middle of nowhere, Iowa, who was dying because there was 900 people screaming at her. It's like, hey, you're doing a good job.
I think it's the combination of you and Jen, and when Jen's involved, something's going to go wrong because of all of her stuff.
When you bring
okay.
Jen and Porty, that's
It's
so many
over.
documents.
No,
It's
the
all-
general
so many
would be that
documents.
one where we were leaving Canada.
many
Sure.
documents.
Where and they were like,
many
"Can we see
documents.
your marriage certificate?" And that's when I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Okay, that's yeah. But I guess here's my thing: is I don't think I have a horror story. I think horror story implies, holy shit, blah blah. I've been tired. I've had a flight canceled or whatever. But usually I'm just like, all right, whatever. Like I don't think there's I don't have the story of put me on the fucking plane. Yada. I don't have that kind of thing. I do have the Can we see your marriage certificate? I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? She's a green card. I'll fucking kill you. That's different.
No, I don't have horror stories per se. I just have like stupid stories of like me either doing something. Actually, mostly it's me doing something dumb. Like the first time I ever missed a flight at IGN, and thankfully they never figured it out because the airline we were super humble about it because it was our fault. It was me and the old, I forget his name, but the old IGN sports editor.
Bill Barnwell.
No, it wasn't Bill.
John
It was before
Robinson.
that. Ari. It was a
Ari?
guy before Bill, and in between Bill and John.
Nate.
No, I forget his name. He didn't last very long. He's a very nice guy, but he was a heavy smoker, and that was back when I was smoking. And we had flown into Chicago. I think we were going to Columbus, Ohio, for a UFC thing, and they allow. I think it was in Chicago at the time, or maybe another. They allowed smoking in one of the bars, and so we were like, we're gonna have some cigarettes and get a couple cocktails. And we were just shooting the shit about how much we love everything. And then I was like, what time is it? And I looked down and I was like, we missed our flight. And I mean, by like a wide margin. It wasn't even like, let us on the plane. We didn't hear our names being called. We got to the front thing and the woman's like, we've been calling your name for so long. It's gone. The plane's gone. And we were like, totally our fault. No way around this. We didn't hear it. We were in the lounge. We didn't hear it. We're totally sorry about that. Is there any way you can get us to Columbus, Ohio? We screwed up here royally. And I think it was United. And I think they were like, yeah, we got another flight leaving, but it doesn't leave for like 10 hours. And
And
it's
you
just
went
like,
back to the bar.
no, because this was like 10 o'clock at night. And so we were like, where does it leave out of? And they're like, the other terminal. There was like another terminal. So we were like, oh, cool. We'll just go over there and like find something else to do. And there was nothing open.
Yeah.
And we slept in a quiet airport with no other people around. And I was like, I don't know if this is like legal what we're doing, but we were just in the terminal still. So it's like, and I felt like Tom Hanks from that one movie where he just couldn't
Terminal.
leave. Yeah.
Terminal, yeah.
It was very, very weird.
Castaway.
But I mean, we slept and it sucked and We got up and we got on the plane, and I was like, that's fucking weird, but let's not do that again.
Yeah.
And I was like, I vowed to never miss a flight again until the last time we went to Vancouver, and I missed the flight by 1 minute. I missed the check-in for the flight by 1 minute.
Yeah.
Because me and the missus got there, and I'm used to like domestic flights, so I was like, oh, just check in on my. I tried to check on the app, but they're like, oh, scan your passport, it'll totally work, and the United app sucks balls, and it did not work. And so we got there. I was like, we got plenty of time. It's gonna be okay. Did not realize that the international flights need you to check in like an hour and a half beforehand. We had missed it by 1 minute. And it was because when I went up to ask the person at United, she was like, not having any questions. I was like, we don't have to check bags. Can we just, is there a kiosk we can go to right now where we can just check in without having to check bags? She's like, no, you got to wait in that line. I was like, are you sure? Because I'm pretty sure there's like kiosks. I remember there being a kiosk somewhere for people who don't have to check bags. She's like, absolutely not. You have to wait in this line. Waited in the line for 21 minutes, missed it by 1 minute. And my wife was like, oh, this is going to be the worst. And to be fair, the rest of the United people we interacted with were great. They got us on a flight like 2 hours later. It was totally fine. But as we're going through TSA security check, I look over, I see a fucking sign, bunch of kiosks that say check in for passengers that are carrying on only. And I'm like, oh my God, I want to bring that
And the
fucking
guys walk
person's
by
neck.
with the kayaks.
Oh my God, the kayak guys. It was the worst. Like whenever anything goes wrong on United, that's when you really hate United.
Yeah.
They're usually
any airline.
Yeah, but United
seems
specifically
to
because
every time for me.
SFO is a very big hub.
Yeah.
It's fucking, and everyone in that line was like, I just don't understand why no one will answer any questions here.
Yeah.
Because they just funnel you into a line because they have to. And then I just felt so bad for that. It was like 2 people at the kiosk that were like, this is the day I hate this job.
Yeah.
And they were getting so much shit. One woman literally cried the entire time I was in line.
I remember this story. Yeah,
The entire time. And my wife was like, let's just go home. And I'm like, I can't, I gotta go. And she's like, I don't have to. And I was like, fuck, you're right.
See you later.
You're so right. Oh man, that was a bad trip for her.
I'll tell you what, though,
unfortunately.
I'm excited for Toronto because I got that United pass, the fucking lounge pass. I'm really excited about that. It might be my first time. I want to get there like 5 hours early, right?
Wow.
Might as well.
Baller.
8 hours.
Wait, how did you get the pass?
With the credit card.
Oh,
If you have the United credit card, you get like 2
Got it.
annual passes or whatever.
Oh, that's cool.
How
do you like that credit card?
It was good.
Yeah.
I hit like whatever balance it was to like give me the 50,000 bonus miles.
Yeah.
So like I had like 9,000 miles or
rolling
some
miles,
shit,
yeah.
and suddenly I looked and I was like, oh my God, I'm like at 62,000. What the fuck?
7 away.
Huh?
7 away.
Don't listen.
69. 69. Well, I'm gonna like need some prep though, because you know me, I'm very forgetful and I'm just a moron when it comes to flying to Toronto. Because like I don't want to have
another country. So you get there 2 hours ahead of time. Actually,
I always do anyway.
Yeah, but like not like 2 hours so that you can be a little late. Like plan to get there 2 hours ahead of time, unless the app will allow you to check in beforehand, which it may do, but you have to bring your passport and scan it. That's the only thing. So they need to be like
Bring
someone
all your
needs
knives.
Yeah.
Okay.
Put them all in your carry-on.
Try to hide Kevin in your backpack.
Yeah, speaking of shit that doesn't get snuck through, we were talking about that. How Kevin, you mentioned you've gotten your Leatherman through several times. When we went to, I guess, where did we go? Maybe Arizona.
We did go to Arizona.
Maybe it was Arizona, where they didn't confiscate my fucking wallet thing. That's like it's like a bunch of different multi-tools thing. It has like a blade.
Oh, yeah.
And but it's just like a square thing that's like the size of a credit card. But it's like, hey, this side is sharp, but there's also slots for screwdrivers and shit.
Yeah.
And yeah, on the way to Arizona, nothing happened. On the way back, they're like, "Oh, we gotta take this out." I was like, well, "I brought it over here." Like,
God damn it! I didn't buy it here.
Yeah, exactly. So
That's fine.
Standard
that was,
rules,
that was
you know?
pretty lame.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Right.
standard rules. They
Fucking
Like,
damn.
why won't you let me
all
play with the
encompassing.
drug dog? I don't understand.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Kind of Funny podcast. Each and every week, 4 best friends gather around this table, each bringing their random topics of lives to you. If you like that, head over to patreon.com/kindoffunny, where you can get each and every episode early, watch live, get the pre and post shows, and most importantly, get it ad-free as an MP3 and video. However, if you want it for free, we understand. Head over to youtube.com/kindoffunny. Podcast services around the globe. You can get the show there, chock full of ads, and no pre or post show. And it's not live because that doesn't make any sense, but you understand. Until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.
Post show. It's the post
show. Dreams and passions. Post show. Blow away. And all the while I think of you. Whoa! Barry with the reflexes.
This is a good catch.
All right, we're seeing what's going on in here. Yeah, we did announce the first Toronto trip there. You see Tony talking about it. Gaming Garage at CNE. August 16th through the 19th. We'll eventually get that on the events page.
Is that Joey in the chat saying she always wants to
course
pet
it
the
is.
dog?
Of course.
Me too.
Who else?
I see that cute. They always pick the cutest dog to be the security dog. It's never like a jacked out German Shepherd. It's like a cute beagle.
Even German Shepherds, man.
They're cute,
I've got to
they're
the point where
floppy.
I'm just like, let me have all of them, man.
Miss Yasmin says, Tim, did you see the Zoe 101 reunion photo? Sadly, Jamie Lee Spears missed it. No, I did not. I'd love to see these. And how the
Is
fuck are
she
you going to do a
still
reunion
alive?
without
Yeah,
her?
that's-
Jamie Lynn? Yeah, dude.
Okay.
What is
Cool.
Zoe
Jamie-
101? Is that a
Jamie
Disney
Lee.
show?
Jamie Lynn. It's Jamie Lynn.
Nickelodeon.
Jamie Lynn Spears?
Yeah. I think, isn't it where
For a hot second, I was like, I think she died,
Ariana
but
got her
no.
start?
Yeah.
No.
that's Victoria
Justice got her start.
God bless
and then
her.
Victoria Justice, God bless her, got her start did the show with Ariana.
Yeah.
It's always the past
Come
down
on,
effect.
don't you want to pet that thing?
I
Yeah,
googled
man.
jacked out German Shepherds.
Yeah, that thing's jacked.
Show
This
it,
is the
Kevin,
image
show it.
we got. I mean, there were several other ones, but like this one.
Like, I would
That's
let that
majestic.
dog protect me from my life.
Oh my God,
Wait,
yeah.
here's my question for you guys.
Sure.
How many times would you have to find the dog doing that pose before you started to like think about it? Like every time you come out, he's on the thing doing the pose, and you're like, "Is this dog fucking with me now?" You know?
Thought you said something else.
Yeah,
Oh,
me
then
too,
you
me
meant-
too, yeah.
Oh no, you're not gonna
fuck
sneak
it.
up trying to fuck the dog. Is that what you're talking about? You sick bastard.
That's what we
Based
thought
on
you
the
were talking
content
about.
of this
Yeah.
episode.
Who would you? What kind of
How many
animal would
times
you
have
fuck?
you thought about it?
I just feel like the dog would be like, "Is this dog smarter than I think he is?" Like he's having a cup of coffee.
He's just he's definitely having a very introspective
Pass by
moment
like,
there, right?
Nick, how's it
Taking
going,
in
bro?
Nature's glory.
You're like, "Do you talk?"
Good to see you, brother.
You can talk. Kevin, let me see that chat.
Oh, sorry.
White blow. I never heard that song till Shaun of the Dead.
Really?
Oh, well, maybe I heard it before. And never.
It's in Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah. They come out. Well, it's not in it really. They come. Well, yeah, they come out singing out of the bar when the zombie outbreak's beginning. But
I wanted to make that a topic, but again, all I do is rip off Levitard's show. But they were talking about like, what's the one director where you were like, I have to go. This director's coming out. I have to go. Like
Edgar
'cause
Wright,
they-
Nolan.
Edgar Wright, yeah. For me, it was Edgar Wright,
Wes
Nolan,
Anderson?
Tarantino.
Yeah, Nolan was the reason why I sat through
Tarantino.
Dunkirk for 4.5 hours.
You didn't like
never saw
Dunkirk?
it.
Dunkirk's
just
better
long.
than Interstellar. Just
I
gonna
love
say.
Dunkirk.
No,
No, I don't think it's better than Interstellar, but I love
so.
Dunkirk.
I couldn't get into it. It's so long.
Dunkirk.
Dunkirk.
It's
I have
gorgeous.
to go back to
dude.
Dunkirk.
Watching that movie in 4K is a fucking experience, man.
The boat stuff was weird. I was like,
It's
I need
great.
to be
Panzer
following
GS
that
says
guy.
Greg never played Thrasher Skate and Destroy. No, I did not.
Didn't like that.
So that's
game
why
at
I
all.
wouldn't hear that song at all.
Aggressive
Oh,
inline and how
Johnny
cool
Bunny.
the songs are.
Yo, if you have Spotify, sorry, cool Greg, there's a aggressive inline playlist you can get. And Kev, it'll change your goddamn
I don't have
life.
Spotify.
Does Cool Greg not have Spotify?
You don't have
Why don't
Spotify,
you give
Kev?
Cool Greg your Spotify?
Kev, you want to be on my
You can
family
add
plan?
someone to your family
No,
plan.
dude,
can't you?
I got
He's a Tidal guy.
Tidal.
Oh, because of the Jay
I
Z.
care about
Can
them.
I actually use
God.
Tidal?
Wow,
Yeah,
that's like being like, you know what? I really like this Pepsi brand. Just being on the wrong side of history on
I mean,
that
it's
one.
not in
It's
that
true.
case. It's very different.
You,
Pepsi
you know, the
sucks.
playlist that I recently found on Spotify was the Tony Hawk's Underground 2
Then you're great.
track list. Fucking.
I mean, that's my
the
thing is I
best.
have aggressive inline in every single Tony Hawk's Pro Skater soundtrack as a playlist, and
fuck
then
yeah.
great time.
We actually look so, yeah. This background's really cool now. I like it. We look so much more separated from it.
It's
Yeah,
great.
it's because you guys are in focus again. I fucking love it. I'm so happy about it. Shout out to your brother, dude. You know?
He did us a solid.
But
on this
also,
one.
if we move the table up a couple of inches, will that help to get us even more in focus?
I mean, yeah. Anytime we move it closer to us, you can have. Actually, we could probably now switch to one of the other lenses, the Rokinon lenses, and actually have you guys in focus, and that'll blur the shit out of the background.
Let's try it.
Ooh.
the,
Should I
the
try
only
right now?
issue with the
Let's try
Rokinon
right
lens,
now. Let's experiment.
the only issue with the Rokinon lens is that we're going to be in such deep focus that me and Tim, we're going to go back to that problem where
That's true. Well,
two of
no,
us are going to be out of
but then
focus,
we
which I
can-
hate.
We can open up or close down the open up.
I mean, you're just going to get the same level as
close
this
it a bit. You think
Cameron
Yeah.
Kennedy is saying, "What is it?"
because that's probably a
changed?
4.0 lens.
There's this like thin film that we put over the.
It's a rear
the video
projection
wall
screen.
that is it dilutes the diodes of the LEDs, so
Yeah, blurs it a little
It doesn't cause it. It limits the moire.
If
that
you ever
happens.
watch Gamescast, you know what we're talking about.
exactly.
Yeah. And it doesn't. I don't think it doesn't. It won't eliminate it 100%. So you might still see a skosh of it, but it allows us to not have it as thrown out of focus.
Yeah.
But I feel like
Which
wouldn't
is
it do
nice.
100% if we had the thinner wall?
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I imagine we had a better wall because then it would be like because right now it's like if I look, you could still see the diodes, but you wouldn't.
Yeah,
it
if you
was-
have a tighter diode space.
I don't know. Matt said that actually the thinner walls it just leads to more of the actual
Really?
array because it's a lot more pixels. But I don't know. You know, I mean, we could ask the fine people over at IGN. They have the slightly better wall than we do.
Interesting.
What? No one has a better wall than we do.
A lot of
It's
people
not
have better
even
walls.
slightly better.
Is that why things are darker or brighter?
go.
I'd say it's like
Yeah,
It's a little more washed out. That's the
Yeah.
only downside is that the blacks aren't exactly black in it anymore, but it doesn't bother me at all.
There's a haze.
I like it because we can shoot with less depth of field. All of us can actually be in focus versus when we shoot at a 2.0 lens, it literally is so shallow focus that me and Tim will be in focus. You guys will be slightly out of focus.
And there's times
which is
where
not good.
there's times where we'd be recording party mode and I'd
You'll
be
lean
like this
forward.
and then I'll do this and then suddenly I'm like blurry, you know.
Yeah,
And
which is
Ignacio
not good. You
Rojas-
want there to be a nice like this area to be in focus, so when people are moving in and out, that's what you get.
Ignacio Ross says, how much for a Times Square quality LED wall? This is much higher quality than Times
Yeah,
Square.
the Times Squares are
Times Square is like,
Those
the
are
diodes
old,
like that
yeah.
much.
Although they are specifically designed to be all weather, like outdoors, which makes them a little bit more like hardcore.
Let's get the Overwatch League.
Isn't
walls.
ours outdoor?
no. Ours is an indoor screen.
My hope for the next studio is, we get the outdoor one so I can chug beer in front of it and like,
Yeah.
like Sandman, and then Barrett can just hose it down.
I mean, real talk. We could put a slightly opaque plexiglass screen in front of it. It
Nailed
would just
it.
be incredibly expensive to order something
but
that's
for the
seamless.
3 times I chug beers and smash things into my
when you
head
when you just hurl the fucking thing at the
Yeah.
screen. Because I know how badly do you want to just throw something at the
all the
screen?
time. Are you kidding me?
You want to kick that
that's
chair
still,
back
like,
into the
no,
screen?
Just like I don't think that like just a piece of plastic over it will.
We got our
it's
fucking
gotta
bow
be
and
a
arrow.
thick-
Let's get the bow and
like
arrow
a
in
thick
here.
plastic.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be like bank level. You can't shoot a bullet through a
Yeah, all
plexiglass.
right. So yeah,
that's what I'm thinking.
That's very
For
expensive.
Greg, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
Nick.
that's-
So I was thinking about a new video wall for Games Daily, right? Since now it's even more thrown off the colors because it was always like a dark blue with a different shade of different dark blue as the wall.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking like for it to look like the intro where it's like, you know, the color wipes to like
Yeah.
a white screen and something's moving, and then another color wipe to like, but it's like super slow and not
yeah.
Super
ridiculously distracting. Yeah.
I mean, that's easily like what you could do is have those wipes kind of like shift, so they're actually like kind of cutting each other off a little
that'd be
bit,
cool.
similar to how like the motion is now with the consoles, the outlines of the consoles. But we could have those be like, you know, just kind of slowly shifting into each other, and then a little bit of a wipe. I mean, you can do lots of stuff with it. It's the lovely aspect of having a giant monitor behind you, so you can. Imagination's the limit.
Cameron Kennedy says, have you guys ever watched a movie on it? It would suck.
Yeah, it's actually not. That's the thing. It's not that high resolution.
We used to play like Mario
It doesn't-
Kart back in the
It
day.
doesn't look bad though. Like we've watched movies and stuff off of it.
It looks horrible. Because the
No,
thing
it
is,
doesn't
it's like each diode is an actual pixel. So the resolution of it is
12 something,
It's
1280,
like
1280, 1268 by like 700.
672.
No,
Yeah.
1176 by
By
672.
672.
So that's not even HD.
But like it honestly, because it's so big and right in your face, it doesn't look terrible. Like we used to play Mario Kart on it every once in a while, and it looked great, especially when you have the 4 quadrants. Why are you nodding no?
Because you're wrong.
I don't think you ever played with us.
I did.
Greg, you remember this, right?
Hi. Yes.
Mario Kart on that wall.
I remember.
It was
Hi.
cool,
I remember
right?
we
Yes.
watched wrestling on it too.
Yeah, it looks
Oh, yeah.
fun. It looks totally fun, I think.
It looks fine.
looks
but
totally fine.
you've grown up with this man
Yeah,
before,
but
right?
here, well, let's
What-
air
what
some
Tim wants
grievances
to
real
watch
quick here. Let's
versus
air some
what-
grievances here. Okay, Tim, I have to. This is something I've been meaning to talk to you about. You are a TV shamer. You are.
I'm not.
You are a TV
I'm
shamer.
not,
You
dude.
are.
You came over
are.
to my You came over to my place, and the first thing you started saying, you're like, Nick, this TV.
That's not
it's
true.
Gotta go.
That's not
Oh
true.
my
It's gotta go.
God.
He's like,
This
those
is-
black levels
this
are
is how-
terrible.
This is how the conversation went. Because Nick's TV is
old. It's old.
the old version of my TV, which is like to say, oh God.
My TV's like 8 years old.
But
for
it
context.
is like the gold standard of what a TV could have been back in the days where plasma reigned supreme with
Oh,
black
yeah.
levels and all that stuff. You had the Panasonic V
VT
series.
50 something.
It's
yeah.
fucking amazing and it's great. And like for 1080p TVs, that's what we're talking about right now. Okay.
Right.
But then things have changed. We got 4K, we got OLED, we
We're
have
about
all
to
that
watch this.
stuff.
Yeah, look, it looks. I think. Well, I mean, the colors won't look right
You
on
can
the
see every
camera.
single diode, dude.
Yeah, but it
Yeah.
doesn't look bad.
It doesn't look great.
Well, you can actually see the meringue in the back wall in this.
Yeah, you can. That's
Which is
hella funny.
crazy.
That's
I would
really
never
funny.
want to watch a movie here.
Nah.
No, but it's good to like watch random TV shows in the background while you're hanging out. We've done that many times
Jesus,
while
Andy, get a
partying.
new wardrobe. No, but I do. I'll say this.
You know what I mean?
I'm
Like-
kidding about you being a TV shamer.
You
But
know,
I am
because
looking.
when I like the real story was, I was like, I'm not trying to be an asshole right now.
Yeah.
Because if I was somebody else in this room that was bringing it up, they would have brought it up in a much more contentious way.
Sean.
That's fucking.
No, that was a Kevin thing.
Yeah,
But,
no,
I was very much like, I'm not trying to talk shit, but
I don't
Nick,
give a
like,
shit what kind of
you
TV
need to
Nick
get a
has.
better, like, you need to get a new
Yeah,
TV.
I know.
Because you'll appreciate it.
No, I totally will. It's just so far down on the
Things to
priority
do.
list. Like I need a new car. My AC in my car is gone, and it's not pleasurable to
Yeah.
drive anymore. And it's just gonna nickel and dime me.
Just,
So now I've
leave
got to wrap my
bags of
head
ice in
around
there.
getting a new car. What's that?
Just leave bags of ice in there.
I thought about it.
Yeah.
Like literally, when I drive anywhere that's hot, I'm like, I have to drive with a cold beverage because it's so fucking disgusting in my car. I need a new car. So that's gonna be priority one as far as like research and figuring out what I want to get next.
What would you get right now if someone was like, I'm gonna buy it for you? You just have to pick the car.
What's my monetary limit?
There is none.
None.
Yeah.
No, I'd say let's give him monetary limit.
No, none. Because like you have to
40K.
ta-
Oh, I don't
What?
know. I mean, that's the thing. I don't know. Because my first instinct is like, oh, get a really cool car. But then I'm like, I don't want to drive a really cool car in the city because
Yeah.
it'll get fucked up.
Also, the maintenance. The
You'll get
maintenance
pulled
is
over
really
a lot.
expensive.
What's that?
The maintenance is really expensive.
Maintenance
on
is
fancy
expensive,
cars.
you know, and that's my problem right now is I'm like, I kind of want to go with like a nicer Audi or something cool like that. But then I'm like, I'm going to get heartbroken every time I see a scratch on it. And then the maintenance is more expensive to Kevin's there. But then I'm like, if I go with another Honda, it's like, I've already driven Hondas my whole life.
Hondas are cool, man.
They're cool, but
Panzer GS.
they're not great.
How much cheaper is Oakland than SF? Would you guys save a ton of money moving there? We would, but then we'd be living in Oakland, so
Yeah. So.
You wouldn't save a ton.
Honda's good.
you'd save a fair amount.
Come on.
Hondas
save
are good
money.
cars. But I've driven a lot of good cars. Like my first instinct is like, I want to get a nice car. Like I'd like something that's a little
Get a
bit more of a
Tesla.
luxury car.
Or
Hummer.
I thought about Teslas.
Ecto 1.
here's what
Batmobile.
you can do. Instead of splurging on like a $2,000 TV, the TV I have is on sale right now.
No, don't do that. 100%. I'm telling you right now. Do not buy.
I have a good fucking TV.
I mean,
for the
he-
price.
he has a great TV, but it's not top of the line.
It's not, but it's also
And you
$1,300
I
less.
will. My
It's worth it though.
TV's not on my radar right now. I go home. I don't really care. I mean, I don't really care. I watch a lot of crap, horribly condensed, like compressed
Let
stuff.
me watch Bill and Ted.
You know what I mean? Like I don't know.
You know what?
But yes, you guys will get a call the next time I need when I need to upgrade to the 70 or 80 inch like OLED.
Yeah.
I'll for sure give you the call. We'll go do it together. Well, it'll be a fun little
That
day.
is so
Everybody
expensive.
everybody gave me advice when I was like looking to upgrade a few months ago. It was like I was getting stuff from Kevin. Even Andy was like, "Don't get this TV that you're thinking about." I just got the TV I was thinking about. It's 4K HDR. That's all I need.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Wow.
I didn't tell you not to get what you
I'm
need.
thinking about getting a nice low level like
I
LG
said
or
beware,
Vizio
'cause I've had
or,
friends have issues.
Westingate. Westingate.
Well, LGs are the
Westinghouse.
Westinghouse. that's what I meant.
LG's are very
Weston Gate.
I was trying to pick the one brand that would piss him off. but-
Westinghouse, Dynex, dude. I fucking
Vizio.
worked Insignia.
Dynex.
I worked at Best Buy, bro. We were slinging TVs
Playing
on the
people
cheap,
left
bro.
and
Oh,
right.
the Insignia. That's
Yeah.
great.
What department did you work in?
I worked in mobile and PCHO, like a personal computing and home
Yeah.
office. But then I was, you always get called over to home theater whenever they needed Spanish speakers. Sorry, I spit all over the table.
It's fine.
I saw that.
Fuck the table.
Gross me out.
All right.
All right, then. That's been your post show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching, hanging out with us. Barrett's showing me that big old tongue. Jesus.
No, we can't. We can't talk about it.
No, he's fine. He said he was fine with it.
If he shows you the tongue, I guess it's okay. But
No,
you
yeah.
can't
last
bring up
time
the
he came
tongue.
on something, he popped out the tongue, and I was like, "Are we okay?" And he
RTX.
said, okay. Huh?
Whatever.
RTX.
No, but I think the big tongue thing and Boss Boy Baby or Boss Baby,
Baby.
Boss Boy Baby.
Barrett. I think those things are kind of like if somebody makes fun of. If I make fun of you guys, or if you make fun of me, whatever. But if someone else does, it's like, no, you can't fucking do that.
Sure.
I feel like it's kind of that thing.
Well, it was also that there was a focus on the tongue, hardcore for like a week
I
straight.
mean, you kept doing it.
That's
though.
how we
you
do
kept
it.
doing
No,
it.
I
You
didn't.
would
You'd stick
mention
out the
it,
tongue.
and
You'd
you'd
stick
stick
out
it
the
out
tongue.
at Nick, and Nick would just
No,
Yeah.
there was a
rubbing.
point where I stopped and
You
it
would
kept
start
being
rubbing.
focused on, and I was like, all right,
we
let's
have a
chill
ten.
out.
I'm not gonna point fingers at
We did a
people.
lick a tongue reference in the Pokemon episode of KFAF, and you
good.
were all for it, Barrett. You were all for
When
it,
did
man.
I say I was
you
all
were all
for it?
for it, dude. You were making it a point to be like, oh no, we went to go see the Pokemon movie, and you were like, of course I got lick a tongue as a thing, and it's
Yeah.
like you're bringing this on yourself, Barrett. You're bringing this on yourself.
But I'm saying that there was a week before all of that happened.
I mean, you were
Barrett,
begging-
if you're
bro,
trying
you
to
were
say
begging for
if you're
it.
trying to say that some or all of us grab onto a joke and drive it into the ground in the studio, I'm appalled.
That makes some people just really tired.
I'm telling you right now. It was funny for a solid 2 weeks. And then, we tipped over. We tipped over the ledge. We stopped.
Yeah,
That's what we do here.
for sure.
You can't always know when the line's going to come smack you in the face.
You can't. Sometimes the only way to find the line is to blindly just do things
Is
and
to
figure
put
it
the
out.
blindfold on and get in the car.
Start feeling.
There's tons of times when you guys will say jokes to me that I'm like, all right, I don't love that joke, but whatever. Like, it's you guys. I don't give a shit. But when the community will catch on and I'll get tweets about it, I'm like, fuck you. I don't want to hear that shit from you because I don't know
Talk
you.
shit from
Like,
you. Fuck them.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Yeah, fuck them.
Fuck
What
them. We
jokes
don't need
don't you
them.
like?
I don't even
don't need
know.
anyone.
It's happened before, like when I first got hired. Like,
Sometimes you're in the wrong
honestly, not
mindset
even-
for it, too.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
Probably when
sometimes
we
people
talk
will
about
catch
how
me
great
and I'm
his
like,
hair is and like how talented he
Right.
is.
I don't even know what it was though. It wasn't like the pretentious. Remember the pretentious hair joke? Like that never. I'm trying to think of something that actually bothered.
we tried to get the 1%er joke started for you. It didn't pick up.
It didn't pick up.
Yeah. There was like 2 days of that.
Yeah. The only joke that's really penetrated and had longevity is the milk mommy joke. That thing is.
Well, it's not a joke. It's a
that
lifestyle.
thing is an icon.
It's a way of
now.
life. Yeah.
That is like.
Is the FCFL ever gonna? Well, like, when's that at? What's the rolling?
Oh, we talked about that December.
Oh,
That's when we vote on names.
No. I think that's when we're first snap
Kickoff.
last I heard.
It's kickoff.
vote
Man,
on
this
it.
could be like I
think we have to announce. I just retweeted them. They're announcing a new owner next week.
Ooh.
Go guess.
That's fun.
Go
I think
guess.
once we get all go guess. I
Go
retweeted
and
a thing
guess.
like it's an image and then it wants you based on this image. Who do you think it's gonna be? I think maybe
that
once they get all
Pokemon?
those guys and gals locked in terms of owners, we'll go from there.
Cool Greg texted me. Now title has it, you ho. Listen to playlist and title. Aggressive inline soundtrack.
whoa!
So
I'm
there we
very
go. Everyone
excited.
switch the title now. They have it all.
Nah, man. Title sucks, bro.
I got an idea for a movie.
Where's Cool G at?
All right, guys. Until next
Summoning.
time, been a pleasure to serve you.
Bye.
It's a Vandal song, Andy.
Oh.